Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 Travers Cup. We're here in beautiful Groveland, Florida, Travers Water Ski School. We're here for the finals. I'm here with Lauren Morgan, who's going to be helping me out doing some athlete interviews. Some awesome skiing so far already in the prelims. 2 pending world records were set yesterday. Conditions looking absolutely great for today. Super excited for some skiing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. We got a sick headwind coming up here. I'll be down on the dock talking to the guys, so look out for me down there, and Stevie will be on the mic.
Absolutely. So we're going to toss it to a commercial, and I'll see you guys on the other side. And I'm here in the booth with Kyle Lees. Kyle, thanks for joining me up here.
Yeah, looking forward to a great event, Stevie.
Now we had a preliminary round yesterday go off. Some awesome skiing so far in this event. This is the 3rd stop in the WorldWaterSkiers Overall Tour. First stop was in Austria. Joel took down the title there. So Dorian was in 2nd. Louis Duplan-Freiberg took 3rd. Martin Coleman was 4th. Danilo Filchenko 5th. Eduardo Morenzi was 6th. And we moved from Austria into Canada, Saskatchewan there. Joel, again, such a strong season so far, coming out with the top score in that event as well. Martin Coleman was 2nd. Dorian Llewellyn was 3rd. Louis Duplan-Freiberg was 4th. Then we had Lucas Panette and Thomas Dagg in 5th and 6th place. And now we move into today. So today being the 3rd stop in that WorldWaterSkiers Tour.
On these guys, though, these guys are, fighting it up for 2nd, but they don't want 2nd, they want 1st. And Joel's had a stranglehold on it in 2023. I think he was undefeated. He's won the first 2, but he showed some holes, a few weeks ago in Canada, in Saskatoon. He fell early in his tricks in the final. It comes down to the final, and Martin Coleman had a shot at him, and it was only in his last jump that he won the events, which made it super exciting for us. So those guys are right there and sniffing in his heels, so I bet they're going to put a challenge in front of him here today.
Well, absolutely, and just such a strong field. Like any one of these skiers, any of the scores from these previous rounds would have won overall just a few years ago, and you now have this tight group of guys who are just so close. And like you said, Kyle, Joel, edging out them in the last little bit, but right knocking on the heels. We saw Louis yesterday come out with that massive jump, huge jump set, kind of multiple jumps over in the high teens and low 220s. So he's going to be right there looking to challenge Joel.
Well, what was crazy, Stevie, yesterday was there were some amazing slalom performances, some of the best we've ever seen on the tour, with Joel Pollan up at 2.5 at 41. That's not uncommon for him, but some other guys, Eduardo, running 39 for the first time, 1 at 41 or half at 41. Dorian Llewellyn has a standout slalom score, 2 into 41. Martin Coleman way down 39. Louis failed a little bit in slalom, really. Slalom's not his strongest event, but he was down in quite a bit even for him, 3 at 11, and he's still sitting in 2nd because he jumped so strong, 222, and he tricked 12,300. So if he can get it together in this round of slalom, which we're about to see, based on how he was tricking and jumping yesterday, he's going to be one to watch for sure too.
All right, we are underway, so we have our first skier on the water. This is the young 18-year-old from Chile, Martin Labra.
All right, exciting, isn't it? We're getting a young Chilean. He's the overall record holder for Chile. He was a former under-17 world record holder in overall. Slalom is not his strongest, but he had a huge performance yesterday. 3 at 39, 3 at 10.75, and looking silky smooth on pass number 1, 13 meters.
And yeah, we have that huge pileup that we said with those top guys in Joel, Dorian, Louis, and Martin. But now we have these youngsters who are really nipping at their heels, and at only 18 years of age, Martin kind of skiing with that maturity, much older than he is, and great technique, great stuff from him. And qualifying here, he actually qualified for this preliminary round in 5th place, and this is just his first year jumping up into the at the full boat speed. So huge things to come from him, and we're just a few tournaments away from him starting to put pressure on the likes of Joel as well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he comes out with in jump later on this afternoon. His tricks are crazy strong. He's over 12,000 regularly, and like I said, he slalom particularly well for him yesterday, but he's just figuring out that 57 speed. He's starting to cut late. He's starting to boost some big jumps. He went 200 right around there. His best is around 207, but I have a feeling he's got some 210s, maybe into 210s under his belt somewhere, and maybe today's the day we're going to see it, and that'll put a big score out there for his overall.
When it's each of these scores that we're talking about, these were scores that were competitive in individual events just a few years ago. We talk about multiple skiers over 12,000 points. We had multiple skiers into 41 off, and we had multiple jumpers. I think 7 of the 9 jumpers yesterday over 200 feet. So the score is so high so far.
All right, let's watch Martin come back, and this is pass number 2. This is 12 meters, 35 off, and he's probably not too accustomed to coming out at 13. He probably typically starts at 14 or 28 off, but he's steady, doesn't show any nerves at all there as he rounds number 6, and another easy pass. But like I said, everybody slalomed so well yesterday, bar Louis. The conditions are great. We've got some of the best officials here. Becky Lathrop behind the wheel. Everyone really loves getting behind her in the slalom event, and I'm hoping we see some deep 41 off scores from some of these guys.
So already 12 meters, going to be coming back 11.25. As we mentioned, did run this in the preliminary round. Came in with that prelim score of 3. So we did just get word, I think, from the officials that Martin did actually start at 14.25 meters as I look here, so I believe this will be 12 coming back out.
Yeah, it looks like by the graphic on your screen right there, yeah, this is coming back at 12, and he ran that one pretty handy. It's still 13. All right, usually the skiers get about a minute drop down, just let the water settle. There's not much wind out there today, so not really affecting kind of what the decision from the dock, whether they start a line length shorter. 12 meters coming up. And a beautiful shot looking down Travers Ski School, Sunset Lakes, as Martin Labra goes around number 1. Pretty easy into number 2. There's the intensity turned up a little bit for 35 off, 12 meters as he hooks around number 4. Early as you like. And another clean pass, 6 more buoys, just adding to those overall points. And although slalom not his strongest event, Stevie, he wants that mid-39 score, doesn't he? Because he knows he can trick, 12,000 plus. He knows he's been jumping well, but he needs to stay in touch with the slalom skiers. Sort of be in the midst there and 39 off.
Absolutely. And yeah, yesterday coming out with that big score of 3, and that's super significant. Like you said, he's normally a little bit further away from the Joels and the Dorians up at the 41 off, but the closer he can stick to them, and we know that he can put out a huge trick score, and we know he's got the potential in jump. He could, if he gets a good slalom score here, he could be one of our podium finishers.
Yeah, that's what he's aiming for today. I bet he's getting on top of the podium is probably a little unrealistic for him, especially for his first event. But to stay in touch, and if he nails it in all 3 events, he has a chance of getting on possibly that third rung.
Well, it's so great to see the young overall talents. We talked Martin, only 18 years of age, and yesterday we got a chance to watch the young Jake Abelson as well compete.
Yeah.
And Jake just setting the overall world on fire, and was just 1 spot out of the finals, and he was jumping 5 kilometers an hour slower than the rest of the field. So.
Yeah, he was super close to featuring here today, and it was Martin Labra's record that he took. Martin had some huge scores when he was a junior, but now Jake Abelson already taken that record away. 12,300, I believe it was, 2 at 39. And 177 feet. So we'll see a lot more of Jake down the line. But let's watch Martin come back in 11.25, drifting back a touch on the gates. Not the tallest skier, but keeps his position very stacked, very compact and strong through the wakes. This guy's got all sorts of upper body muscles to hold on to the pull as he comes around number 4. It's a big one. A little bit slow at 5, and I think he's going to come up short at 6. Still a handy score, Stevie.
Yeah, still deep down that 11.25 meter. When I looked at his scores from last season, that's sort of where his average was sitting, kind of in that deep 11.25 meter line. So great start to his overall round. You could see how close he was there, and good start from him. So it's going to be 5 buoys at 11.25 for Martin Labra to start off his overall round. Yeah,
it's a respectable score. He's going to be a little bit disappointed. He does achieve that score quite frequently, 4 or 5 at 38. I thought after yesterday, running it here gave him some confidence. You might see that again from him. A guy that really stepped up yesterday, though, in the slalom, Edoardo Marenzi from Italy. He didn't have a great tournament up in Canada. He fell early in the tricks, and it was kind of all over for him. He didn't make it through to the finals, but he's come back here with some vengeance and came out early. Still didn't trick that well, but it was enough to make it through to the final, wasn't it? And he jumped exceptionally well for him, 207 feet, 208 feet, I think.
Yeah, right around his personal best in jump, and I know that was the first time he'd run through 39 off in a tournament as well. So two great scores, and you said that little bit of an early fall on his first pass and trick, but it was super impressive. He was able to regroup, got back in the boat, got enough points on the board to secure himself one of these spots in the finals.
But that's the difficulty of overall, isn't it? Like, you know, he slalomed exceptionally well, he jumped exceptionally well, but to get all three events firing, so hard to do it all on the one day in the one round, which you know, notes how good Joel is, because he's been doing that time and time again.
Here we go, Eduardo Morenzi, 13 meters.
And I think this is correct. This is 13. He typically starts at 13 meters. He's deep down 39 quite regularly, and hopefully we're going to see him through that pass again here today.
So, nice easy skiing from him.
Coming back at 12, blue.
All right, here with Teen Show, Martin Labra, 5 at 11. How are you feeling after that?
A little bit disappointed, to be honest. I had a great start, grade 1 and 2, but then at 3 I was a little bit back, so my edge change to 4 was bad, and then I just tried to save it as much as I could, and I managed to get 5. It's not a bad score, but I was a little bit disappointed because yesterday I skied really good, but today's another day and we still have 2 more events and anything can happen, so feeling good.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you in tricks.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
It's great to hear from Martin, and you know, like I said, I see a lot of maturity in him for just an 18-year-old kid, and a little bit disappointed with that slalom run, but he knows, you know, overall is a long game. There's a lot of events and a lot of skiing still left to come, so he's going to regroup and come back in the tricks.
Yeah, he's gaining valuable sort of professional tournament experience here at this event, and I guarantee we'll see him, you know, in the next event in October, and hopefully in 2025. This is Eduardo coming back in. This is 35 off, 12 meters. And a very fluid slalom skier. Nice long reach, keeps things moving, and a great 12-meter pass. Another 6 buoys in his back pocket, shortening up to 11.
We'll get a good chance to watch on the replay here through this 12-meter pass. So, you know, these early passes, Kyle, usually just setting the skiers up for that harder pass. We see, you know, he's looking to get another score at the 41 off to run through 39, and sort of just using this 12-meter here to get himself ready.
Yeah, they're not difficult passes for these guys at all, but they're very necessary to kind of get their feel out on the water, get their rhythm, sort of judge the conditions, and then kind of work through things, and so hopefully find the rhythm for the harder passes. You know, in the years past, Stevie, the overall event, typically a trickers and a jumpers game, you would say, wouldn't you? It's, you know, most of these skiers are a little bit more compact, not the taller skiers, and that benefits the tricking and the jumping. But what's been awesome over the last few years too is to see some of these smaller guys, maybe not typically the big slalom skiers, but they're all running huge scores into 41 off. They don't really have a weak event anymore.
I kind of credit a little bit Adam Settlemeyer was kind of the first overall guy that kind of came out and didn't really have a weak event. He kind of could show up to a slalom, trick, or jump event and finish on the podium in all 3. Right. I think that kind of was the inspiration for the likes of the Joels and the Dorians out there.
Yeah, no, he definitely set the pace, and he held on to that overall record for a long time. And as we watch Eduardo come back down the lake, beautiful drone shot, shows how the lines he's running nice and early coming into buoy number 5, hooks up tight, and easy as you like. So he sneaks ahead of Martin Labra, adding an extra buoy, 6 buoys at 11.25. Yeah, so just on the replay, so you can get a little bit of loose line there at number 3. I think there is a little slight breeze from behind, which is shaping up for some good headwind for the jumping later on. But yeah, just got a little slack rope around number 3. Nothing that sort of bothered him, but now he's setting up. He's got a little breeze in his face as he comes back in at 39. And obviously the skiers like that. It helps keep the rope a little bit tighter, keeps him up course a little bit more. And Eduardo, he had been hitting around 4s and 5s at 39 for a long time, and I know he was there and thereabouts, and he's super excited to see him get through that full pass yesterday. And yeah, he fell on the tricks, but that's one of his strongest events is the tricks. You know, he does some unreal flips, and we'll see that later on. His toe tricks have kind of let him down the last couple of events. He's had some early falls, but if he can get that together today, who knows? He'll be another one on the podium as well.
Yeah, such a close field, and really, like any one of these 6 skiers with the right scores could definitely find themselves on the podium. And you know, Eduardo's going to be looking to run through this pass like he did in the prelims, stick as close to Joel Poland as he can.
Now we can truly appreciate how short that line is as he reaches around to get outside buoy number 3, and he's still going. Disappears from our view there, but looks like he's going to run this part. Oh no, kiss of death, round number 5, 4.5. A great score for Eduardo, but his hands go up to his head. He knew he was in it. Got a bit excited.
Well, you can just see at that short line, the margin of error just so small, and the first bit of that pass going through, super solid through 3 buoys. Looked on time there, but you know, 10.7 so short, just the smallest little mistake, and in the water you go.
Stevie, you're a slalom skier as well, and you know what it's like when you get to 4, the excitement level comes up. You get to 5, you're thinking, oh, I've got this under the, you know, in this pass, and that's where it goes wrong. So maybe a little element of that for Eduardo, because he was tight around that 2-ball in this replay. Lots of space across to 3.
Did you say time?
And we're watching him coming into number 4 on your replay. But that's where you're off an offside turn towards the end of the pass. He handled it pretty well, but sometimes you get a little bit, you do a bit of a safety check. You don't want to kind of have an early fall there, but I think you look pretty good and just kind of lost focus there around number 5.
Yeah, a little bit excited there, and you know, you can get a little bit ahead of yourself. You kind of get to that 5-ball and you start thinking about the next pass and that you've already got it done. But looking, just kind of listening to the corner of my ear here, Kyle, to the judges' radio, it appears like there was an issue with the time on that pass. So I believe he will get a re-ride on that 10.75. So another shot for Eduardo Morenzi.
Okay, we'll have to get a word from the officials whether it's a fast, slow time. That's going to signify whether he can improve.
But I'll need someone to give him
So I believe actually it's maybe the deviation, the short part deviation was off, and then maybe he can't improve on that score, but he can go out and at least get the same. But if he scores less, it could come back to wherever that deviation was good. Like if it was still good at 3, he has a 3 protected.
Yeah, a cool piece of technology now that's sort of a new thing into the slalom world with the SurePath, and kind of giving the drivers the feedback and kind of making sure everything is consistent for all the athletes.
Can we get an update on what that is? Could you tell me if the deviation is too much or under tolerance?
You know, so obviously with SurePath being a little bit of a new piece of technology, the judges just kind of have to go through and make sure that they're doing the right thing here. We're just going to see with the accumulation whether it was helpful to the skier or hurtful to the skier. Obviously in both cases the skier would get an opportunity for a rewrite. If it was deemed the advantage, as you were saying before, he will not get a chance to improve. If he was disadvantaged, of course, he will.
Yeah, well, obviously in this sport, you know, it's a game of inches, really, isn't it? So if everything is monitored so closely, so tightly, because you know if that's slightly off, it can provide an advantage or disadvantage. And the technology of SurePath allows us to keep, you know, everything in check. The zero off cruise control, everyone's getting the same pull, same boat path, and then really can truly just it's up to the skier, not anything other factor.
I find with the SurePath, it's been pretty neat to see the talent of the drivers, and you know, these skiers kind of pulling the boats all over the place, and these guys just able to keep it, as we said, within centimeters of the center of the course. Is really a testament to their talent.
No, for sure. There's a lot of pressure on the drivers, out here, and these skiers are putting a hurting on that toe line and that toe pole, and especially when they get down the course and a little bit late, and maybe even right there at 5 when he took that big pull and couldn't hold on to it. It pulls the boat all over the place. And but we do have some of the best drivers in the world here at this event, and we'll be bringing Eduardo Morenzi back in. He's got another shot at this pass. We'll let you know whether he can improve. Regardless, though, he is going to be wanting to run this pass. He's going to prove to us that he can get it done. He did it yesterday, so let's get behind him. Let's see if we can get our first skier of the day through 39.
What a great shot of the drone there of just how nice the conditions are here. He's set up very well here. Let's see what he's got. It looks like a good start.
Another ripper 2-ball. He's on time here at 3. Stood up a little bit though, and now it's such a cutthroat sport slalom. One little mistake at that short line length and it's all over. I thought he had a great 2, was in time. The ski kind of popped up a little bit on him. He pushed on it a touch at 3 to try and really get going, and too much. Still the leading score so far, 3 at 39, 3 at 10.75. And we'll be moving into our next skier, and I believe it is Martin Coleman. As we were talking earlier, this guy had a ripper of a tournament up in Saskatoon. He skied exceptionally well in the tricking event, 11,600. Had a strong slalom performance for the conditions. The conditions were a little bit tricky. The scores were down somewhat. 3 and 4 at 39 was kind of where the top couple guys were. But he jumped strong, and he put some serious pressure on Joel, who only just eked him out on his final jump of the competition. He's in the hunt. He's in, I think it's in 3rd spot, right behind 3rd tied. So he's chasing down Dorian, who's in 2nd spot in the tour standings. 4.5 at 10.75 was Martin's score from yesterday. And he looked almost exactly like Eduardo's first run. He was on time, he was going well, he just overturned that 5-ball, and that's his good side too. And was in the water, but maybe got a little excited. I don't think he's run the 39 in a few years maybe. I think he got through it at the Europeans, but it was a slow time or some problem with it, so he had to go back and do it again. So let's cheer him along, and hopefully we see him through this pass today.
Really, when we look and we talk about how young the overall game has become, not only 32 years of age, and he's really the veteran of this competition. Obviously, former world champion.
He definitely enjoys it when we call him the old man of the overall skiing.
Well, and really, with the time that it takes on the water, typically, we did see overall skiers peaking a little bit later in their careers. Tricking and the world records. You see the skiers kind of late 20s into their 30s when they start having those peak scores. And now we have the likes of 16 and 18-year-olds who are already putting down those amazing scores. So
much training. To get proficient at one event is a ton of work on the water. To do all 3, these guys just don't get a break. They're on the water 4 or 5 times a day. 9 months of the year probably. They're on the water so much. It takes a big toll on the body, especially from the slalom and the jumping event. But even the tricks now, with the amount of flips and the skill and the force on your body doing those runs, this toll is amazing.
So it looks like he's coming out on 13 meters, the same as we saw from Eduardo.
And what I like about Martin's skiing is he never looks too panicked out there. He always looks pretty calm. Maybe that's the experience showing. He never gets flustered, just kind of keeps things rolling along. And experience plays for quite a lot in these events, especially in pro events, when there's the pressure on.
Well, yeah, the overall game, it really is a marathon, not a sprint. It's a long day today. These skiers are gonna, we talk about 3 events. It's arguably 4 events if you have your hand tricks and your toe tricks that these guys need to train for. So it's a long day, and like you said, he's done it before, multiple-time European overall champion, former world overall champion.
Yeah, in 2017, no, 19.
19, I think.
2019 down in Malaysia, is that correct?
I believe so.
Yes, so again, we talked about how well he did up in Canada in some difficult conditions, and down in Malaysia there was some tricky stuff that he had to handle, and he did a great job down there and won the overall crown.
I guess after the second pass?
Go.
All right, Edo, ended up with a 3 at 39. I know you got 4.5 before the re-ride. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on that whole situation with the Sherpath.
I mean, yeah, first I was a little upset because that was a really nice 39, like easy runnable, and got down in 5, got a little upset, and then both came back, didn't really know what happened, and then I kind of figured that like I could improve my 4.5, so I had a great start on my second one, and just my ski didn't really turn at 3, and it's better than a 2, so I improved my score, but it is what it is.
Yeah, well, good luck for tricks coming up. Rest up, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right, back to the water, and on the water behind is, there it is, Martin Coleman coming back at 35 off. Missed a little of the start of the pass, but I had no doubts he was going to run that one.
Yeah, it looked like no real trouble for him at all. Like you said, came in with that prelim score of 4.5 at 10.75. Really impressive overall round for him altogether, all 3 events. Very strong for him, 11,000 points in the trick. And coming out with that 63.1 meter jump as well. Came in the 4th place spot, just behind Dorian in the overall, so quite tight between them. Just sort of 40 overall points separating the 2 of them for that 3rd podium spot. And he knows that if he gets a little bit deeper down that 10.7 and into that 10.25, that 41 off pass, that's really going to put the pressure on both Louis and Dorian.
No, for sure. Looking at those results from round number 1, the 4.5 at 10. 11,210 and 63.1. That's a fantastic overall round for Martin. I don't know if he's done much more than that in the past. I know he's capable of a couple more buoys in slalom, 200, 300, 400 points more in tricks, and maybe a meter here or there. But to put all those 3 together, but he's still in 4th because the standard Dorian, Louis, Joel all scoring not that much above him. At least at 40 points for Dorian, and then up a little bit more there for Louis in 2798, so a couple hundred points. No, only about 60 points, right? Yeah. So pretty close 2nd through 3rd. Joel out on his own a little bit with that new pending world record in round number 1. 11.25. Things start to get a little bit trickier here. That rope doesn't reach quite out to the buoy line. The distance from the center of the course out to the buoy is 11.5 meters. We're now at 11.25. You see him stretching, getting that ski around number 5 and 6. Pretty handy, pretty nice.
Pretty tidy 38 off, and Martin probably one of the taller competitors as well in the overall. As you mentioned, overall skiers tend to be a little bit more compact. Martin, a little bit longer, a little bit taller. That does give him that little bit of an advantage in the slalom. And using all of that there at 11.25, 10.7 coming out next, 39 off. When we come into an event like this, just so special to have the top athletes in the world at one of the top facilities in the world here at Jack Travers Water Ski School. And we saw yesterday, we talked about Joe Poland setting that pending world overall record, and we also saw the likes of Jake Abelson also setting a pending world junior overall record. So 2 overall world records set yesterday, just a testament to how beautiful this facility is, how great the conditions are, and the hard work that Jack, John, Lonnie, and the whole team do here.
Yep, the whole family have got in behind this event, and we expected nothing less of the standard of performances we saw yesterday. The amount of world records that we've probably seen at this site in the last 40, 50 years. They had their 50th anniversary, wasn't it, last year?
Yep.
So this ski school, one of the mainstays of the water skiing capital of the world here in Florida, and some unbelievable performances here over the years, and this weekend as well. This is the big one there, Stevie. 10.75. Can he get it done?
Nice tight line out of 1. He's got the start that he needs, but he's now delayed out of 2, and he's got work to do from 3.
Oh, it was the 2 ball there. He had a great number 1, Stevie, didn't he? He came into 2 maybe just a little slower, was trying to be a little bit more patient, maybe just a little cautious. Got down course. We'll see on the replay. Nice gate turn. He's a lefty, so that's his strong side. Coming around number 1, just sat back a little bit, delayed and slow across to number 3. He needed a big one here. Dumped in. If he'd held on to it, it might have got him back on time, but unfortunately 2.5. He's going to come up a little shy of Eduardo, who had a 3 at 10.75. I'd like to hear the official score and kind of how the rewrite worked for him, and whether actually that score is going to count at 3. It seems like that because he's the leader on our board in front of you. And we'll move to our next skier from Canada, Dorian Llewellyn. a former world overall record holder. He's broken that world record maybe 2-3 times, I believe, back in about maybe 2022, something like that, before Joel has taken it that next step further. Had a few injuries, Dorian, over the last couple of years. The ankle injury that got a hold of him. He's sort of worked hard, got his recovery, and he's been skiing strong. He had a great slalom and trick yesterday, just a little shy on the jump. 207 feet is a great jump, but down from what Dorian can do. He's, usually in the 20s when he really is hitting form. And he does a lot of training here, so he knows this site, and he's going to need a big jump like that to challenge Joel and Louis later on today.
Was our first skier, was one of our 3 skiers who did run all the way through 10.75 in the preliminary round, qualified with that half at 10.25, and he's going to want to be at least there in this round to battle it out with Joel.
No, for sure. That's if you pick one weak event, it might be slalom. Again, these guys don't really have weak events, but Dorian running 1 to a half at 41 was right there and thereabouts with Joel, who can get a little bit of a handy lead in slalom if he goes down 41. So Dorian stayed in touch with him there. He wasn't far away in the tricks, but it was the jumping that we said let him down. But hopefully he can figure that out. He has a personal best of 230 feet, so he definitely has the creds to go far. But a little work to do yet before we get to the jump event.
When we talked about Martin Coleman being one of our taller skiers, Dorian not so much. Dorian's a little bit on the shorter side, which does help him, as we said in the jump and the trick event, but definitely not an advantage in the slalom. And the fact that with the technique he skis with, that he's able to get down so deep into those really short lines is so impressive.
We'll be PC and call him vertically challenged. But yeah, it does speak to his technique, because even though he doesn't have the big reach that some of the other skiers, he can still run the short line passes and into 41, which is huge when you don't have that sort of 6-foot frame and reach. So let's see how he comes back in here at 12 meters. Setting up on the gate. Yes, good speed through that turn in. Again, like we said, just feeling things out here on these first couple passes. Formalities really, as he ups around number 5, that's his offside turn, smooth, keeps his speed up really well through that offside turn, not sort of stopping and starting, and that creates a lot of space in the course and keeps him on time. So an easy pass at 12. Hopefully he can continue that rhythm, continue that form through the next couple passes as well.
Yeah, like you said, Kyle, just such great management of speed here through the course, and really just keeps that speed consistent, keeps that line tight all the way through here.
I think the forecast for the weather this afternoon, Stevie, looking pretty favourable. We feel a little bit of a breeze, from the dock end, so a little tailwind here on this next pass. So things shaping up well for an exciting afternoon of skiing. There's our forecast. Yeah, 8-9 mile an hour, not too much.
Yeah, wind was shifting a little bit earlier today, kind of going a little bit crosswind, but looking at the forecast, it is supposed to turn around, blow a little bit straighter down the lake.
A little more east, yeah.
As we move into the later jump.
And that's what we'll be looking forward. Had beautiful conditions yesterday, sweet little headwind as the jumpers sort of finished off the event. And Dorian Llewellyn coming back 11.25. Yeah, so seeing just a little bit of a hitch there, through that 135 side. That maybe there's a tailwind, maybe just getting a little bit kind of reaching a little bit more, making a little bit harder work on that pass. No problems at all. But this next one, this is where this is the money pass, isn't it, Steve?
Absolutely, and then, slalomers take different approaches. Sometimes maybe going into 11.25, attacking it like he wants to do the 10.75, maybe over skiing it a little bit, and just in terms of knowing that the pass that he's really looking for today is the 10.75.
Yeah, he knows he can run this pass all day long, so I think he was a little bit of like, okay, don't do anything crazy here, feel things out, but do a little bit of a safety check at 3 and just kind of making sure he makes no errors, and then he'll kind of relax, or if you like, or kind of go for it on the 10.75 because he has to run that pass for sure.
When the field is so strong, there's just no room for error at all in the overall anymore. There was a day where maybe you could be down in an event and come back and ski strong in the next 2 to kind of make some up. But these guys so strong in all 3 events now. Any little mistake really can take you right out of it. But so far, so good for Dorian. Top score so far is 3 here at 39. We just saw Martin Coleman run the 2.5.
All right, what can our skier on the water? Dorian Llewellyn, can he come through and get through the 39 off pass? Scores have been down a little bit from what these guys did yesterday. No one's really pushed any further, but can Dorian be our first one through? He's got a strong gate here. All important number 1. Oh my goodness. Down round number 1. He knew he had to nail number 1, Stevie. I think he went just a little bit too much. Looking forward to seeing what happened on that replay.
Like we said, went out, he attacked, he knew he needed a big one, and unfortunately coming up a little bit short there, but we'll watch the replay here to see what happened.
Just the slow-mo replay here. This gate's so important at 39. Looked pretty good here. Released out to number 1, maybe a little bit narrow, just a little bit over-committed inwards, and doesn't take much to get over the top of your ski too much and blow the tail. But that's a big hit here for Dorian. It's going to be he's going to have to claw his way back with some big tricks and big jumps with the score down at half at 39 in this final. 2 more skiers remaining. It's Louis Duplan-Freiburg about to leave the dock from France, and England's Joel Poland.
Well, Louis is going to be looking at that score of Dorian's for sure, because normally Louis, can be a little bit down in the slalom to these guys. We saw him go down, even earlier in the preliminary round. But knowing that score from Dorian's a little bit lower now, Louis kind of knows, hey, if I can get my slalom up there, I'm going to be looking in pretty good shape against Dorian.
I was really impressed with this guy's jumping yesterday. To me, he had one of the longest jumps. I think Joel was close to him, but he looked like he did it so easy and had room for something further. And he was close to his French record, 222 feet. I think he had a 24, but it was slightly fast. So I can't wait to see what he can do in the jump portion of this overall event later on. Right now, he's coming in. This is slalom at 13 meters, and hopefully he can figure his rhythm out a little bit. After our last event in Saskatoon, he went back to France. He had a little bit of a break. It's a long season for these guys, and he knew he had some important events towards the end of the year. This one, there's a couple more of the pro ones here later on in the year, and then obviously the Fluid Cup, which is going to be in October, which rounds this overall event out. So some of these skiers sometimes need a little bit of break and kind of refresh. But yeah, maybe a little bit short on training for the slalom event, but it didn't show in the tricks in the jump at all.
No, and you talked about that jump set. Like, he went out, I think jump 1 was 218, and then 220, then 222, and he had that the 224, like you said, that ended up being a fast time. So great stuff from him, and he's right there. And just again talking about, it blows my mind to think of these scores. Like, overall skiers 220, 12,000 points into 41 off. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
Go.
All right, Martin, 2.5 at 39. Solid score. Slalom scores aren't quite as high as they were yesterday. Is there something going on out there, or just the nerves getting to people?
No, I think, it felt really good for me, and, after yesterday, like, everyone went deep and slalomed great, so I knew coming in I wanted to run 39. I had a great start, and I just rushed 3-ball a little bit too much and just fell. So it happens, with the scores yesterday, they were great. So I think everyone just got a little too excited for today.
Yeah, well, good luck in tricks. That's coming up. Rest up and have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks. Back to you guys.
So now we're back 12 meters here. Louis making easy work of that.
Yeah, we'll catch him on the replay as he comes in at 12. Saw the tail end of the pass. He looked pretty easy, pretty early. Made a bit of a bigger reach at number 4, so still trying to find his rhythm out there, I think. Strong onside. He's a left foot forward skier. 135 is his strength. This 4 ball, he kind of reached in a little bit. Yep, made a little bit of an error there, but again, I think he's just trying to find his feeling out there. Picks things up at number 5, but really it's this 38 off pass that's going to count. If he can get through this with the scores we've got so far, he's going to set himself in a great position. Top score so far still Eduardo with 3 at 39, holding on to that slalom lead.
Get the good or the red? Which one would you rather me get?
Personal best for Louis, I would guess 3 or 4 at 10.75, put 3 or 4 at 39. So he is capable, but in events past, slalom has been his downfall. It was in the prelims, otherwise he would have been right there around that record if he'd had a big slalom score. But here it is, can he do it? 11.25, he came up short yesterday with the 3. He's got the 1 ball he needs. And inwards reaching at number 2, he saw a problem with that in a 12 meter, big number 3 to try and catch up. But it's inside number 4, and I tell you what, Eduardo's got to be feeling pretty good about himself. I told you, he didn't go so well up in Canada. Had an early fall in tricks yesterday, but squeaked into this final, and he's came to play here in the final with a 3 at 39. And the worst he can do is second so far in the slalom, if Joel can out-ski him in just a second. Let's look what happened to Louis. It was 1 ball was okay. That's his onside. This 2 ball, his reach is just inwards and down. He just seems like he's losing his balance on that offside. We saw it at 35. That was late. Long pull to number 3. Couldn't. He's got a strong onside, but he can't catch up from that, can you, Stevie? And inside number 3. So not what he was looking for. He's going to need some huge tricks, huge jumps.
And that's what's super fun about the overall as it kind of shakes out through the day, right? We kind of have, some performances higher in certain events, and it kind of shakes out as the day goes on. But yeah, definitely some work to do now from Louis.
Yeah.
But looking at it, if we compare it to yesterday, where Louis came in seeded second in this after the preliminary round with a very similar score, but we've noticed some of the other guys' scores are down a little bit.
Yep.
So Louis actually moved up a little bit. Even though that's not the score he wanted, from where he was in the prelims, that actually bumped him up.
You're right about that.
In the guides of the overall.
So no, he still has a chance, but he's going to be disappointed with a 3 at 11. That's not where he wants to be. And if this guy about to leave the dock, if he can slalom anywhere near what he did yesterday with the 2.5 at 41, he's going to put out a pretty handy lead right from the onset of the 2024 Travers Cup. It's the 3rd stop on the WWS Overall Tour. 1 more to go, and that's going to be in towards the end of October, in about a month's time. He has dominated so far. He's won the first 2 events. He won them all last year. Is there any chinks in his armor? Can some of these other competitors find a way to get ahead of him? We'll wait and see. This is his warm-up pass. This is 13 meters.
We saw there as Joel's getting ready to go, kind of does a little somersault off the dock. And one of the things I love watching about Joel is he's just always out there having fun. He's breaking world records. He's like you said, undefeated so far, between last year on the tour so far, and still just always goes out with a smile on his face and just looks like he's having a good time.
Yeah, he appears very, very casual, with his skiing. But I tell you what, I know he works his butt off, when it comes time. And he trains hard on the water, trains hard off the water. He's serious about his preparation.
Stand here for an hour.
You're good.
All right, Dorian. Half at 39, going down a little earlier than you wanted, but hey, it's overall, and no one's really slaloming too great today. So, how are you feeling going into tricks?
Yeah, obviously disappointing. Lost a pass off yesterday. It was like big high finally. Felt like I'm back in my groove, and I've been slaloming really well the last couple weeks, so I probably was getting ahead of myself in my head, and just wasn't thinking about that 1 ball. I was thinking more about the pass itself, and that's how quickly it can happen in slalom, and it is what it is. Louis missed 38. Nobody really slalomed that well. The door's pretty open for Joel right now, and he's usually pretty consistent in slalom, so not an ideal start, but there's still trick, and then there's jump, so there's so much left in overall right now.
Yep, exactly. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out there on your trick ski and jump later. So rest up, and we'll see you soon.
Yep, thanks. Should be fun.
Thanks.
Okay, this is Joel Poland coming from Great Britain, 25 years of age, only 5'10", and probably the shortest skier that's run 41 off. Would you agree?
I think he'd have to be in the running for it for sure.
Maybe Dane Meckler, I know he's got through that pass. He might be an inch or so shy, but of course we'll all remember his 41 off pass here in the 2023 World Champs.
You know, that's still one of my favorite performances I think I've seen from an athlete. Joel went down super early in trick and knew he was behind the 8 ball and kind of did some mental math in his head and went out there and, you know, just put a score out there that he still almost was able to do it and almost win the World Championship after that early fall. It was pretty amazing to watch.
Yeah, of course, Louis Duplan-Freiburg was the eventual winner of that event. He skied consistently all 3 events. His slalom was up a pass or so from what we saw just a second ago. He's jumped strong, and you know, tricking over 12,000 for him is kind of run-of-the-mill or, you know, everyday occurrence. But this guy fell early and came back out and just nailed the slalom. Huge performance. I think he's got a 4 or 5 earlier on the season at 41 as well. So although he hasn't matched that performance from last year, he's been coming close. And the prelims fell round 3, but he had a ripper 1 ball. It looked like he was on time coming into 3, and who knows if we could see him down that pass, hopefully extend his lead, and he'll almost be uncatchable if he could get a pass over his competitors in the slalom event.
Well, that's a little bit, I think, where Joel's really set himself apart in the overall over the last little while is in that slalom score. You know, the overall game has really improved in terms of the trick and the jump, but Joel just seems to be that next level up when it comes to the slalom right now.
Yeah, well, all these guys are great slalom skiers, but this is the one guy that can probably go to a slalom event, and he has, and he's made found finals and he's made podiums. The other guys, you know, they have to ski out of their skins to get into a final, but he's done it quite a few times already. They all could make trick and jump finals or trick and jump podiums, but this guy can do it in every single event. 12,000, runs 41, and jumps 230. So. Super talent on the water. We really weren't even really watching that 11.25, Stevie. You just kind of let him do it. It was about so easy, wasn't it?
Well, it's sort of, I think that's sort of Joel's style, is he makes it look easy. He goes out there, some of the stuff he does on trick skis and some of the videos and things that he plays around with, he makes it look so much easier than it really was. And, you know, just watching that 11.25 there, it doesn't get much easier than that.
All right, chasing a lead. Eduardo sitting up there on the top of your leaderboard with 3 at 10.75. He was the second skier off the dock. You know what? Martin Labra's got to be feeling pretty good about himself too. You know, he's within touch. He's only 3-4 buoys behind. You know, the other overall competitors. We think Joel's going to go, you know, surpass that lead, but he's in touch. You know, if he can trick and he can jump what he's capable of, who knows? He could be earning a spot on the podium here today.
Well, it's so fun just watching that list continue to grow, right? We had for a little while, it was just Dorian and Joel who had kind of separated themselves. They were battling back and forth, and then we saw Louis come onto the scene, and then Louis now been challenging him as well. And you know, now we see like the young Martin Labra, he's going to be right in the mix as well.
Yeah, well, we don't forget Martin Coleman and Eduardo, and also Daniela Filchenko. We're missing him here. He was at our first event in Austria, didn't show up in Canada or here, but he's another top overall competitor. And we miss him here competing today, but this is Joel Poland as he rounds at number 4. This is 39 off, and guys, what a pass. And he's the new leader by 3 buoys, and he's got a chance to extend it even further with his shot at 41. This 10.25, so short this line. What's he going to do?
Well, you can see how many times Joel's run through that 39 off pass. Just skis it with experience. He was a little down course, kind of coming around 4 and 5, but he just stayed calm and patient. He's done it so many times before, and
yeah,
another one in the bag. And now he set himself up. I know we said yesterday he had that really good start here at 10.25, and kind of came in and said, you know, coming into ball 3, I was thinking about ball 6, which is sort of his mentality. But he's definitely in it, and you know, anytime he steps up to this pass, he's in the chance of running it for sure. You know, and already now he's got himself a pretty commanding lead here in the overall, right? He's already going to be 3 buoys ahead of anybody else, and going to add a few more here on this pass. So another great start from Joel, and just continuing his form of dominance.
Yeah, slalom's always a bit of a finicky one. You know, you can have some early falls. It does happen. Tricks, obviously, that's the one that counts the most for overall. You know, and anything can happen in there. If he gets through his tricks with his, you know, his consistency in 11, 12,000 points, jumps a bit of a foregone conclusion when you get 3 attempts. But here he is, 41 off. He's got a big one ball, loses a little bit of speed as the tip comes up, a little loose line and holds onto it. It's a full 2 buoys. It's not a bad score. He's 5 buoys ahead of Eduardo, and a good full pass and a half over some of his other competitors. Commanding lead after the slalom event. And these guys are going to now take a quick break, get the trick skis out, and we're going to see the trick event unfold here very shortly.
We're going to do it right now.
And our leaderboard, we'll run through it quickly. Joel Poland, 2 at 10.25. Eduardo Morenzi, 3 at 10.75. It was Martin Coleman with a 2.5 at 10.75. He was in third, followed by, I think, Dorian Allen was at half at 10.75. Martin Labra, 5 at 11.25. And Louis Deplon Freiburg with 3 at 11.25. So 1 event down, 2 remaining. So those other guys in touch, you know, 100 points behind, possibly. There it is. Joel Holland with 1,000 points. Pretty good guess. Eduardo with 910, Martin Coleman 900. So 100 or so points for those guys to make up. Dorian Llewellyn 134 points or so behind. He's going to need some big tricks. And Martin Labra and Louis 200 points behind. They got some work to do.
Yeah, so still lots of great skiing still left to come. The trick event is going to be coming up next. 3 skiers from yesterday's event over 12,000 points.
And Stevie, you know what? I'm going to run off and help officiate with this trick event, and we're going to leave you with Jake Abelson, one of those skiers that went over 12,000 points, and you can talk to him about his pending under 17 world record. He tricked 12,300. He actually lost one of his tricks today. He lost his toe fire back. It was no credit, so could have been even more. The guy's are amazing and has a great take on the trick event. He is the world trick record holder, and I'm sure he's going to provide some great comments for a trick event about to unfold shortly. So I'll catch you back here shortly in the jump event, Stevie. Have fun.
Yep. Thanks for your help, Kyle.
What a pleasure to be here on the beach with Pierre Plouffe, the legend here at Tremblant. Pierre, good to see you.
Hi, Alain.
Tell me about your business. It's been here for a while.
We've been here for just about 25 years. We have activities for all tastes, all prices, and I can show you right now in the water. Let's go.
Yeah, this has to be the perfect spot for all water sports.
Well, we're trying to have all sort of activities on the water, starting with the non-motorized pedal boat, canoes and kayaks, and the very popular lately, the paddle board.
Yes.
We also have the sailing. We have some sailing. We have some sailing boats. We have the day camp for kids. We have fishing boats, runabout, and very popular pontoons, which you can go in the water with families and friends.
Mm-hmm.
We have a day camp for kids, which includes water skiing in the morning, surfing and wakeboarding, and some fun boards behind the pontoon at lunchtime. We also have a floating mountain, which we call the iceberg.
Yeah.
Actually, it's so popular that we had to buy a smaller one for little kids that wanted to go up on one side and slide on the other side.
And the lake is always perfect for water skiing early in the morning, as I know you're the world champion, you train here.
Yeah, I train every day.
Condos, mobile homes, rental homes, and everything in between. We know all about wind inspections, 4-point inspections, and how to get you the right coverage for your particular home. You've got questions, we've got answers. Can you remember the last time you had a rate decrease with your auto insurance? Let's take a look and see what we can do. We know all the ins and outs of getting our customers the best rates, coverages, and discounts, so put us to the test.
Don't monkey around with your insurance. Call Dellinger Insurance today. We've got tons of companies to help find you the best prices and the best coverage for your particular needs on home and auto insurance. Go Knights!
Experience iconic sophistication and style in a new Cadillac from Houston Cadillac in Lake Wales. The 2023 CT4 sedan is nicely equipped with class-leading technology and a head-turning design. The XT4 is compact and spirited, with serious comforts and up to 30 mpg. And the XT5 offers a spacious cabin and impressive suite of tech and safety features. Visit Houston Cadillac and take advantage of our limited time offers. Houston Cadillac, people you know and trust.
And we're now on our first competitor from Chile, Martin Labra. And I believe it was Martin's record who you eclipsed yesterday.
It is. He's the reigning Masters champion in trick, so let's see what he can throw down here. Toe 5 back, toe 8 back to back, reverse, super tight, super fast, toe back, reverse, toe 5 front, toe, little hook hung up there, but toe wake-o, toe wake line-o, nice and high, toe wake line back to back, reverse, toe front, toe wake line 5 back, toe wake line front. Oh, he's going to be a little upset there, but it was great skiing from Martin Labra. Just getting that toe line front inside the wake there on last trick. Super good run though, very clean. He should be able to get everything there from the good judges.
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things I notice when I see Martin trick is just the cleanness of all of his tricks, all of his toe lines just executed so good and allows him to get in those extra points. So looks like right now, we'll see about that toe wake line front, but so far we're showing 5,300 points on pass number 1. So yeah, and as we thought, so that toe line front there, the judges were just taking a look at it, did decide that was not credit, kind of what you had seen there on the webcast. So I'm going to revise that score down to 4,920 on pass number 1, but a good amount of points for him on his toe pass.
Still a very high toe pass score, and let's see what he can do here on the hand pass to make up for that toe line front. He's able to trick 12,590 points, and that's a very high score in this overall event.
Well, just a few years ago, I mean, just 12,000 points was only done by just a handful of guys who were specialty trickers, and tricking was the main thing they focused on. And now, here on the World Overall Tour, you know, three guys yesterday, all over 12,000 points, 3 overall skiers tricking that well, yourself included, is just, it blows my mind.
Yeah, with the new knowledge and the more coaches knowing what the right techniques are, how to do it, the speed, the tricks necessary, the combinations, it makes 12,000 points more able to do by many skiers. Still, it's a very challenging thing to do. By no means easy.
Well, yeah, you can just talk to that. The margin of error is so small in tricking, right? You see how talented these guys are. I don't think, you know, if you've never trick skied before, I don't think people realize how slippery a surface that trick ski can actually be to stand on. And, you know, with the technique and everything you guys have, you make it look so easy. But really, you know, just standing on a trick ski for most people is no easy feat.
It sure takes a lot of practice. It seems like Martin's in the water now, and he should be coming back up for pass number 2. It seems like the wind's picking up a little bit, so he has a little bit of a crosswind here. Let's see how he handles that. Doing some wake jumps, getting ready for his run. Passing the green buoy, coming up towards the red buoy, or Red Bull. Mobe, reverse, and back to back. BFF, back landing, front flip, ski line 5 back, ski line 5 front, nice, super clean ski lines, ski line no, back, ski line back to back, front side, and that's going to be a high scoring run there. It should be about 6,800 points, I believe, so very high, and with a combination of that toe pass, it should be somewhere around up in the upward 11 points.
Yeah, and such consistent skiing from him. We saw him qualify yesterday with a 10.650, so a little bit lower than we've seen from him throughout the season. Right now, current score showing 11,830, so you nailed it, Jake, right on the head. In that high 11,000 point range, but a great start to him. A big improvement to his overall round from the prelims, and we'll add that to his slalom score.
Yeah, yesterday he just had a little slip up at the end of his toe pass on toe line back to back, so he lost a couple of points there, but 11,830 is a huge score for this event, and with a good jump, he should be in contention for the podium. only time will tell with other skiers.
Yeah, and we saw he went down a little bit early in the slalom than he did in the preliminary round. He had that huge score of 3 at 39 in the prelims, so not able to get that. But we also saw some of the scores from our other competitors a little bit lower as well. So with that trick score, that's going to bump him up and keep him right close to the likes of Louis and Dorian and Martin.
Yep, for sure. Looks like we've got Edo Morenzi on the dock and Martin Coleman on the dock as well, who's going to go afterward.
Go ahead. Go ahead, come on, guys.
So we apologize there if you guys are following along on the webcast. We are back. We had a small technical delay. We lost some power. The power has decided to come back on, and we are back. And right now on the water, we are watching Martin Coleman make his way through his hand pass.
He's through the start, and he's on reverse back landing. Back landing. Here, are we going to see the super mob? Yep, we see the super mob. Super nice. Ski line 5 back. Ski line, wake 5 front. Ski line no. Back. Ski line back to back. Wake 5 back. We'll see on the timing for that wake 5 back, but really nice skiing from Martin Coleman.
And we can see there pass number 1, 4,990 points on that toe pass. So great start on the toe pass. Looks like it was a stand-up toe pass for him. And as we get to see here, Jake, we get to see that kind of live scoring as the judges score. We get to see the points tallied right before our eyes.
It looks like wake 5 back was out of time, and he scored 6,630 points on that hand pass, bringing his total to 11,620, which is just slightly lower than the score we saw earlier from Tincho, or Martin Labra. Oh, looks like he lost it.
Yes. Are we going to use the restrictors to ignore it?
So yeah, as we look at the sheet there, it looks like also that wake 5 back.
Wake 5 back was out of time, and then it looks like he also lost another 100 points on his toe pass. So 11,520.
So as we move into the overall, that's a good score from him.
Do we want to do Tincho or just
Right around that mid 11s. Prelim round, he scored 11,210 points. So he's up that score from the preliminary round.
He also had a slightly lower slalom score of 2.5 at 39, but so did everybody else. So he should be in a pretty good place after that trick score. Probably above Martin Labra in the overall standings. Looks like we got a score for Eduardo Morenzi, who went while we had the power outage with 9,060. He had a good toe pass and a good start to his hand pass. He just went down a little on his second ski line.
So again, a small improvement for him from the preliminary round. We didn't get that big slalom score that he got in the preliminary round, but there is that nice tight battle that we had going on at that kind of 2.5 midway through 39. So Eduardo going to add that score. And it'll be interesting to see where he shakes out between him and Martin Labra. Martin obviously with this higher trick score, and Eduardo with a slightly higher slalom score today. So we'll kind of see how that pans out in the overall points. But we continue on with the trick. We move on to the Canadian Dorian Llewellyn.
Here we go. Dorian's coming up around the island.
Personal best in the high 11,000 point range. I think 11,800, somewhere in that mark.
I think it's around 11,970, 11,920, somewhere in that area. Very close to 12,000 points. Well, we're coming in. Looks like he's to start with toe 5 back, toe wake back to back, reverse. Nice smooth start. Toe back to back, reverse. Toe 5 front, toe out, toe in, toe wake go. toe wake lino, very big toe lino, almost lost it but found it again. Toe wake line back to back, reverse, toe front, toe slide, toe back, toe wake front. Very nice clean skiing from Dorian. A little bit of extra line on those toe lines, but overall very nice, clean, high skiing.
Yeah, you can just see, like you said, he got a little hung up there, so just having to wait on the line a little bit on the toe line back-to-backs. So we'll see about timing there at the end of the run, whether he gets everything in time.
Another thing worthy to mention is that on that pass he had a tailwind, so that would explain the extra line that he was encountering.
Well, talk to us a little bit about that. How do you approach that with your own skiing? If you have if you go off the dock and you have that headwind off the dock, how are you going to approach that?
I think we're going to an interview.
All right, Teen Show, 11.830, huge trick score, kind of made up for some lost buoys in slalom. How are you feeling going into jump?
I felt great. Just I missed my last trick in toes, but I mean, after yesterday, I'll take it all day. So yeah, feeling great now for jump and focusing on that event.
Cool. So what's the game plan? Looks like a nice little headwind picking up here. What's the plan?
Just go late, go far, and trust yourself. So I'll try to do that.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, so just before we were going into that interview there, I was just asking, how do you approach the wind with your hand and toe passes?
Martin or Martin, then Adam, once he gets out of the boat.
So we're going to get a chance here to watch Dorian's run here on the replay.
We got a side view here, so it'll be a little different than what we saw from the boat. He was very nice through here, and then this toe I know was a little big and came in a little sideways, but he found his connection again, and he ended up having a nice ending to his run where he finished with toe slide, toe back, and toe wake front to get some extra points. Looks like we got Dorian up, and he's coming up for his second pass. This pass, the wind should be a headwind, so we should see a lot of line tension. He goes back, mob, reverse, front, back to back, BFF, back landing, reverse, comes front flip, nice out and wide, it sets up for the ski line 5 back, ski line 5 front, ski line O, back, ski line back to back, front, wake 5 back. We'll see about the timing on that wake 5 back, but his score for pass number 1 came through with 4,700 points, and let's see what that pass 2 totals up to.
And you could see him throw the fist there at the end of the run. He was pumped. Went down a little earlier than he wanted. He was a little disappointed in the slalom, but he's not that far behind. Obviously, Joel's got a pretty good lead right now coming into the trick event, but when we look at that sort of second and third place spots, all those guys grouped up. So Dorian did a great job there in his hand run, getting through both passes. It's looking like a preliminary score of 11,610, so 6,910 on that second pass. Looks like the wake 5 back was out of time. But a big score from him in that 11,610, so that's going to be a big improvement to his overall score.
That should be above Martin Coleman, but a little bit below Martin Labra. We'll see how that places him in the overall standings, since he had a slightly lower score than Martin Coleman, but he did have a higher slalom score than Martin Labra, who went earlier.
Interview!
All right, Dorian, 2 stand-up passes. You look pretty pumped. How was it?
Yeah, it was good. It's a little bit of a shame with the slalom. You know, that was a good trick pass. Did my easy run because at this point, you know, I think Louis Coleman, everybody and I are fighting for second. Joel's definitely out front, but you know, you live and die in overall with tricks, so you never know. But yeah, it was better. You know, I'm on the up, and now we get to go jump, and I'm still in a good spot, so I'm happy. Probably should have apologized for the hot mic moment earlier. I was a little frustrated after slalom, but we turned it around, so I'm happier now. Sorry. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, good job, and hey, yeah, like you said, it's trick, anything can happen, and it's a nice headwind, so hope you go out and boot one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thanks.
Looks like we've got Louis Duplan freeboard coming in around the turn. He's the reigning world overall champion, so let's see what he can put down for us today. Yesterday he tricked 12,300 points, a huge score, and let's see if he's able to throw that down again today.
And he's a little bit behind the 8 ball here in the overall, going down at that 11.25 meter line, so he's a pass down on some of his other competitors, but we saw him make all those points back yesterday in the trick event, and here he goes through his hand run. There's the front flip and the back flip back landing. Now we're into the reverse back landing, so a back flip with a 180. Now he's into the ski line trick, so jumping up over the rope 540 degrees. There's the ski line at the end, and now the last flip. Ski line and Waco. Great stuff from Louis. Stand up pass, right similar to where we saw him yesterday. Throw in the fist. And hopefully, Jake, we get a chance to watch this replay and you can walk us through that pass.
Well, it looks like he had a Waco there at the end. We'll see how that is on time after his front flip and ski line no. It's only 150 points, but it can still make a difference. Louis does a typically different hand pass than many of our competitors who go 6 flips, then 4 ski lines or 4 spins. Louis goes 5 flips, then he does ski line back-to-back across the wakes and does 2 ski lines, and then does 1 more flip and a ski line in a wake trick. It seems to work well for him, and he scores a lot of points, demonstrated by his 69-30 hand pass right there on pass number 1.
Yeah, massive score on a hand pass there. Single pass, almost 7,000 points is pretty unbelievable. When we talk about, the likes of collegiate skiing, that'd be a pretty elite score, and collegiate you don't even have a limit of the amount of flips you can do. So a huge hand run from Louis.
Looks like he lost that wake front, which makes sense. So he ends up with a 68-50 hand pass, and we'll see what he can. Oh nope! But the Waco was in time, so 7,000 points. Huge hand pass, and
don't know yet. Yeah, so we're just seeing as the judges kind of move the tricks around. Those scores do move around a little bit, and as we said, it finally looks like it's settled in at 7,000 points. So a huge score to start off here, and he's going to need to stand on this second pass. As we said, he's a little bit behind in the overall after the slalom, but between the huge jumps that he had yesterday and that huge 12,000 point trick score, was able to come back and actually qualified as the second top seed. So he's less behind than he was yesterday in the slalom with a very similar score, but we saw the likes of some of our other slalom scores down with Dorian and Eduardo with a little bit lower scores. And
well, here we have Louis coming in for his toe pass. He's putting his toe harness on, and he's coming in. He should have a headwind here, so let's see how he handles it. He's wrapped up for toe 7. Toe 720, toe 540 to the back, toe wake back to back, reverse, toe back to back, reverse, toe 540 front, toe out, 360 in, 360 over the wake, 360 over the line, toe wake line back to back, reverse, toe wake line 5 back, just makes it toe wake front. So we'll see on the credit of that second toe wake line back to back, but a huge toe pass from Louis. He has a very large toe pass, and that's the same skiing that he did yesterday to score 12,300 points. So even if he loses a trick or two, he will still have a huge score and be in a great place for the overall.
When he did what he needed to do. Anytime you see a tricker go up and back and stand up both of their runs, you leave it in the hands of the judges, but doing what he needed to do. And it does look like we're going to get to watch this run back through.
Here's his toe 7. We can see super clean, super nice, and keeps moving. Toe 5 back, toe wake back to back, just going out, that's outside the crest, reverse, toe back to back, reverse, toe 540 front, toe 360 out. Here. Coming into the end of the run, he's going very quickly. Then he goes toe wake line back to back. Here was his only bobble. He ends up a little low, toe wake line back to back, and then goes toe wake line 5 back. We'll see on the time there and what the judge's final decision is, but he looks like a 47.70 there, giving him a score of 11,770 points temporarily, and it looks like 11,290 now after he lost that toe wake line, second toe wake line back to back, or second no credit.
Yeah, so it looks like, reverse toe wake line back to back, judges deem no credit, and then the toe wake line 5 back, toe wake front were out of time. So that's where he lost some of those points. But 11,290.
Still a huge score, and let's see him go far. I bet he's going to go far today in the jump event. A nice headwind seems to be building, so I'm sure we're going to see some big jumps.
So, and prior to getting that score in from Louis, we kind of look towards the overall. Martin Coleman, with that score, does move ahead of Martin Labra and Dorian Llewellyn. So Martin Coleman is the leader. So obviously, before we see the score from Louis Duplan and Joel Poland, currently sitting in second place, Dorian Llewellyn. Third place, we have Martin Labra, and in fourth, we have Eduardo Morenzi. But all those guys bunched up super close.
I'm going to guess Louis is going to slide into that 4th place position ahead of Eduardo, but he will make up some placement for sure in the jump event today. Oh, we have a revised score for Louis. It looks like that toe wake line 5 back was in time after revision, so he is now in the lead for the trick event with 11,890 points, and that should place him in a better place for the overall.
Yeah, so the judges obviously retiming that, found that toe wake line 5 back in time, so there's 600 extra points for him. As you said, 11,890 with our top seeded skier on the water. They call him the alien, Joel Poland.
He's wrapped up for his typical toe wake 5 back. Toe wake 5 back, toe wake front, toe slide, toe back to back, reverse, toe back to back, reverse, toe 5 front. We got a nice drone footage here of his toe lines. Toe wake O, toe wake line O, toe wake line back, toe front, toe wake line 5 back, toe wake line back to back, reverse. Super clean, super on pace skiing from Joel.
Little wave to the drone on the way by. And great consistent skiing from him. He's really been on fire over the last year. We saw him go undefeated on the tour last year. Already 2 stops in. He's taken the title in both of those stops. He was on fire yesterday, setting a new pending world overall record. And let's see, starting off with that toe wake 5 back.
Looks like we're getting a score coming through. Right now it says 4,540 points, but we'll see what that comes out to after revision. The trick eye allows us, the announcers, to see the scores earlier and get what the judges are doing in real time, as opposed to getting the score 30 minutes or 15 minutes later once the judges have gone through and the run's been scored.
Yeah, typically, like you said, we have to wait, 30 minutes after the event for the judges to tally their scores, and so it takes us a little while to be able to tell who the winner of the event is, and this new technology allowing us to see it really in real time, and, you and me getting to see, the judges are looking at this trick, and then we can see whether it comes up or not. Great opportunity and super cool technology that we're using here on the World Waterskiers Overall Tour. So just one of the many ways that, the visionary of this event, Jarrett Llewellyn, is kind of has in his head, and Trick Eye has been a big part of that. So super cool that we get to see that. And looking at Joel's score there.
Right now it looks like we have 4,090, but it seems to be moving around, so we'll see what we end up with at the end.
So it does look like going to an interview.
Yeah, ready? Okay, off we go. Go.
All right, Louis, 11.890. What do you think? Do you think that was sort of enough to kind of pull you out in the race out of slalom? What are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I went for it. I almost put everything in hands in time, so I went for it in 2 hours. I wanted to put the extra tricks. I guess I was fine. I rushed it a little bit. I was the limit, so the judges didn't give me a trick. It's like that. Yeah, I'm happy the way I skied. Wanted a bit more, but I give it all there. So now I'll jump.
Yeah, it's a nice headwind. You had a big jump yesterday. I hope you have a big one today.
Let's go.
All right, back to you.
All right, so looking at Louis' score, when we tally that to his 3 at 11.25, that does put him into the 4th place position behind Martin Labra. So going into the jump event, current standings, Martin Coleman is in the lead, Dorian Llewellyn in 2nd, Martin Labra in 3rd, Louis Duplan Freeberg in 4th, and Eduardo Morenzi behind him, with Joel Poland still left to come. Joel's got that big lead that he earned in the slalom, so almost a pass above the field.
So he has
his first pass.
So he has a little leeway there, and it looks like his toe pass came in for 4,920 opposed to the 44.40 that he had beforehand after the retiming of the judges. So we got a side view here. He comes in, Mo back to back, reverse, back to back, BFF, front flip, back landing. And then he goes for his Super Mob 5 front. It's a 540 over the line. Ski line 5 back. Ski line back to back. Ski line no. Back. Ski line 5 front. Great skiing there from Joel. And that score should be above 12,000 points. But we'll see. Super solid skiing there.
Well, half a buoy off of the score that he got yesterday in slalom, with the 2 buoys today at 41 off. Another score around 12,000 points. We could potentially see going into the jump event Joel Poland setting another pending world overall record. This young man is just absolutely on fire and looks, quite honestly right now, in 3 events, he looks unbeatable.
Looks like we have a score through, or tentatively, 12,030 points. 49.20 on the toe pass and 7,110 on the hand pass. Really great skiing there from Joel. Super consistent and super solid.
So we'll try and tally up and come up with the number that he'll need going into the jump event to eclipse that score from yesterday. He's not quite as high. I think he's a little bit down in trick and a little bit down in slalom. But again, 1 jump left, a really big jump on the board, and Joel Poland could be going home with the 3rd pending world overall record of the season. Just really incredible to see how that's panned out. And he just seems so consistent right now, so dialed in. And 12,030 points for him, so that will mean going into the jump he has a fairly commanding lead in the overall, as he will take the 1,000 points in both the slalom and in the trick event. We tallied the points. Each skier gets a percentage of that value as their score. And so going into the jump event, Joel Poland in the lead. Following him is Martin Coleman. Then we have Dorian Llewellyn, Martin Labra behind him, Louis Duplan Freeberg, and Eduardo Morenzi. And a very tight battle here. If we look at between Louis in 4th and Martin Coleman in 2nd, just 70 overall points between those 4 skiers. So a very tight battle. 70 points just takes a big jump. So it will come down to the 3rd and final event. Joel Poland looking good so far. Another very impressive score over that 12,000 point barrier. And Jake, it's been a pleasure having you up here in the booth and getting to hear a little bit about you, how your season's going, and getting to pick your brain a little about the trick event. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, Joel, we just got your score, 12,030. You ran 2 at 41 earlier. Solid score. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'll take that. Definitely like a good start. That's kind of the goal in overall, is don't lose too many points, don't miss too many boys. So we're looking good right now.
Are we like in world record? Are we in that era?
Yeah, like off the current world record, I've had like 2 really good weekends in a row now of like slightly breaking it. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat either of those 2, but with like where the current record is at. I'm on a good pace. We just got to see how we jump. I think I need like a 2:30.
Okay, well, we got a nice headwind brewing,
Yeah,
so
good headwind.
yeah. Well, good luck, and we'll see you soon.
Wicked. See you in the jump.
Back to you guys.
Experience iconic sophistication and style in a new Cadillac from Houston Cadillac in Lake Wales. The 2023 CT4 sedan is nicely equipped with class-leading technology and a head-turning design. The XT4 is compact and spirited, with serious comforts and up to 30 mpg. And the XT5 offers a spacious cabin and impressive suite of tech and safety features. Visit Houston Cadillac and take advantage of our limited time offers. Houston Cadillac, people you know and trust.
What a pleasure to be here on the beach with Pierre Plouffe, the legend here at Tremblant. Pierre, good to see you.
Hi, Alain.
Tell me about your business. It's been here for a while.
We've been here for just about 25 years. We have activities for all tastes, all prices, and I can show you right now in the water. Let's go.
Yeah, this has to be the perfect spot for all water sports.
Well, we're trying to have all sort of activities on the water, starting with the non-motorized pedal boat, canoes, and kayaks, and the very popular lately, the paddle board.
Yes.
We also have the sailing. We have some sailing. We have some sailing boats. We have the day camp for kids. We have fishing boats, runabout, and very popular pontoons, which you can go in the water with families and friends. We have a day camp for kids, which includes water skiing in the morning, surfing and wakeboarding, and some fun board behind the pontoon at lunchtime. We also have a floating mountain, which we call the iceberg. Actually, it's so popular that we had to buy a smaller one for little kids that wanted to go up on one side and slide on the other side.
And the lake is always perfect for water skiing early in the morning, as I know you're the world champion, you train here.
Yeah, I train every day here, and it's fun to have people training with me in the morning. Some adults training every day, and some kids also are training now.
Well, the perfect spot. We invite everybody to come and check it out.
Yes, we're waiting for you guys.
Thanks.
At Dillinger Insurance, we have over 50 different carriers to shop your home, auto, and recreational vehicle insurance needs. We would love the opportunity to save you money. We insure million-dollar mansions, condos, mobile homes, rental homes, and everything in between. We know all about wind inspections, 4-point inspections, and how to get you the right coverage for your particular home. You've got questions, we've got answers. Can you remember the last time you had a rate decrease with your auto insurance? Let's take a look and see what we can do. We know all the ins and outs of getting our customers the best rates, coverages, and discounts, so put us to the test.
Don't monkey around with your insurance. Call Dellinger Insurance today. We've got tons of companies to help find you the best prices and the best coverage for your particular needs on home and auto insurance. Go Knights!
Good, ahead and grab them.
All right, Jarrett, stop number 3 here at Jack's. How's the tour been going?
It's been going really well. You know, every year we're trying different things. Austria went really good. We switched it up a little bit. We didn't go live. We wanted to tighten up some shows, and Canada went really well. We had some bad weather, but it went really well, and a good crowd. Jimmy Clooney, the Saskatchewan Water Ski Club, did an incredible job in their first year. And coming here, you know, Jack's is just incredible. Everything's just, the skiing's just off the chart, and that's what we're all about here. It's exciting.
Yeah, the level of the skiing is incredible. I mean, we were talking about it earlier today. Slalom used to be something you kind of drag along and overall, and now all these guys, they could be slaloming on the Pro Tour. So really incredible. We got stop number 4 coming up at Fluid, I believe, in a couple weeks. Are you excited about that one?
I am. This will be our 3rd annual stop at Fluid. It's the tour final. You know, Joel looks like he's pulling ahead. A couple unfortunate Dorian going down in slalom early. That definitely hurt. But still, there's, you know, 2nd and 3rd is up for grab. And there's 7 grand up for year-end bonus. So that's exciting. And Fluid is always, just like here, lots of world records and PBs you'll see there.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to it. And thanks for everything you're doing.
Oh, thanks. And stay tuned. Go to the platform and get involved as much as you can, and write us and let us know what's going on.
All right, back to you guys.
So we are moments away from our 3rd and final event, which is the jump event. So 2 events down here in the finals. We just saw Joe Poland with the highest trick score of the final round, 12,030 points. So another great start for him for his overall round. And we'll try and put some numbers in to see how far Joel needs to go to set a another potential world overall record. And just looks completely on fire. Sort of the story of the tournament. It's been the story of the last kind of 2 seasons is just Joel's dominance, and doesn't look like he's got a chink in his armor right now. Looks pretty hard to beat.
Not at all there, Stevie. Just unstoppable, really, in the first 2 events. Commanding lead in the slalom by 5 buoys or so of over the 2nd spot. And Eduardo, he's got another couple hundred points in tricks over our 2nd place, which was Louis. He's the only one that broke 12,000. And with his jumping form of late, you know, and consistency in jump, you know, they get 3 chances. You know, there's not often, you know, will he fail in the jumping event. So he's just got to go out there and kind of get his feeling like he did yesterday. Anything over 220, I think will secure the win quite easily. But you know, he's going to be looking for another record. He did it yesterday, and we're calculating today. I think somewhere around 225 might even surpass that record he set yesterday. So exciting things to come. I'm looking forward to watching the next year go out. Martin Labra, he is going to be our first jump. He's at the lower ramp height. He's at 1.65, 5.5 feet. Still adjusting to the faster speed. He's not quite up to the 6-foot ramp yet, but jumping exceptionally well. He's has a personal best of 207. He went 200 feet really easy yesterday. Had a ton of speed. Didn't quite get his legs, but you can just see him starting to up the intensity and really want to have a challenge in getting into the 210s, 215s. And we're going to see that from him very, very shortly.
Yeah, and obviously there's going to be some big jumps to come for this young man as he progresses. He gets a little bit more confident with that faster boat speed and bumps that ramp up. But already distances, you know, in excess of 200 feet, 207, as a personal best off the 5.5-foot ramp is super impressive for the young 18-year-old. And he looked yesterday like he had the potential distance for sure.
Yeah, and looking at the overall placing so far after 2 events, slalom and tricks, Martin Labra is sitting in 4th, so doing pretty well. Obviously, jumped down a little bit.
We're just going to cut to an interview quickly.
Okay.
All right, here with Felipe Miranda, 2-time overall world champion. Thanks for coming out and supporting. What do you think of the events?
Oh, it's great. I love watching overall, like watching these kids actually. It's amazing what they're doing on the water, slalom, trick and jump. All 3 events are like maxed out. They're all competing each event with the top skier in the world in each event. So what they're doing and what the age are, it's just crazy, and it's just so fun to watch and so fun to see them having a tour, be able to compete to each other weekend after weekend. And for the people that are putting this event, it's just amazing, and it's great for me as an overall skier. So it's cool to watch it.
Yeah, well, too bad this wasn't going on, a couple years ago. But hey, thanks for coming out, and we appreciate your support.
No, thank you. Thanks to all the sponsors that are doing this, and thanks obviously Jared that makes a lot of work to make it happen.
Back to you guys.
Alrighty, Stevie, we're on the water now. Martin Labra, our first competitor. Like I said, he was sitting in 4th so far after slalom and tricks. The young guy about to go out there and hopefully set this event alight. We've seen the slalom, that's the traditional event. When you think about tournament water skiing, we've seen the tricks, the gymnastics out on there. But my favorite event, probably your favorite event, we come down to the jump event. The thrills and spills, the speed, the height, the distance. What a way to finish the overall event.
Yeah, so conditions absolutely perfect. We had a little bit of changing wind conditions as the day's gone on, but that wind has just switched to picked up a little bit of intensity coming straight down the end of the lake. And, conditions set here for some huge, huge jumps. And Martin Labra coming out for jump number 1, looking to take advantage.
Oh, he's got a hold of jump number 1. Camera from the boat going so high, he wish he came out of our screen there, but a lot of speed into that one. Connected well. Yesterday he was coming off kind of a little forced, a little behind his feet. He wasn't really getting the extension, so his distance was maybe down on what he was looking for. But very, very tidy jump number 1. I think maybe that wind caught him by surprise on the countercut. I thought he drifted back a little bit, Stevie, do you think, on his setup? So maybe not the speed, and it's quite as late as you'd like to be on it in jump number 1.
And it looks like 200 feet for him on jump 1.
That's bang on what he did yesterday, so good job there from Martin Labra. Starting well, 200 feet.
We talk about how jumpers structure their set. This wind a little bit different than the guys jumped in yesterday. So jump 1 tends to be a little bit of a warm-up, kind of figure out the conditions jump, and then kind of looking to really nail ones on jump 2 and jump 3. And if Martin puts a big jump out there, he's going to really put the pressure on the likes of Louis Duplan and Dorian Llewellyn to be one of those top podium spots. Joe Poland a little bit hard to reach for him right now, but if he boots a big jump, he's really going to put the pressure on those skiers sitting down on the dock.
No, he's came to play with that jump of 200 feet right off the dock. Jump number 2. Let's see if he makes some changes down here. As he's pulling out now around this, or near the 600-foot buoy, makes his countercut swinging wide on the side of the towboat. And now this is when he sort of feels that wind, and hopefully he can maintain his speed so he can turn in the course enough, get that angle and get that whip into the bottom. Here he goes, jump number 2. He's got some hang time. Did he have the speed? We will wait and see for jump 2, but it's there and thereabouts again, I think. Maybe a few more feet?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit farther. Kind of noticed the same thing as you. I think he brought it down a little bit of the 600-foot buoy there. It looked like he carried a little more speed into his turn. We'll see if that translates into distance. Obviously a complicated math formula when it comes to jump. You need the speed, but then you need to be in the position to get your height and that flight out over. It looks like 204 on
nice.
Jump number 2, so right in that personal best range. We thought it was a little bit further. You can see on this replay he had that little bit more speed in the turn. I think Kyle's still drifting back a little bit in that turn.
But that was beautiful ramp work, wasn't it? Just extended flawlessly off the top of the ramp and moved into his flight position. Very clean, very still in the air, so maximizes his hang time. If he could take a little more heat, and that's what he's developing, is he's starting to learn how to get the intensity up. When you first go to 57k from the junior speed of 51, it's intimidating. It's hard to get in the course and really sort of let it rip. But he's finding that strength, finding that sort of that form and the confidence to get deep in the course, and hopefully a little more speed with that ramp work. We're going to see maybe over 210 here on jump number 3. 62.3, 204 was his second jump. And like we said, he's actually jumping on the 1.65 meter ramp height. Setting up, Stevie, what do you see?
So looking good. He's right around that same spot he was on jump number 2. Does he get the same lift? I think he does. And I think that was a little bit farther. We'll see from the reaction as he comes by. He doesn't seem, I didn't see a fist throw or any amount of excitement, but I think that was right around that second jump, and I think that's going to be 3 jumps over 60 meters.
Yeah, consistent stuff there for Martin Labra. And he has thrown down the gauntlet for these next few guys, especially the guys, just that maybe the top has got a bit of a lead on him, but he's challenging for that 3rd, 4th, or 5th spot for sure. We'll watch the replay. You can see the ripple on the water. That wind has picked up a little bit, but here in the jump event, we want a little bit of a headwind. Not too strong, but we wanted, a good 8-9 mile an hour to kind of keep you up as long as you can get the speed. And I think that's what he was lacking. Definitely got the height, definitely got the carry, the sort of float time, but just we need that speed through the bottom.
And that becomes the name of the game, and that strong headwind. Obviously what the jumpers are looking for is that strong wind into their face so they can get up, get that float. But that comes with a cost, which is the speed, right? That wind blowing in your face, slowing you down on your countercut, kind of messing with your timing a little bit. But when the wind is like this, if you can figure out the speed, if you can get your timing right, this is a recipe for some very, very big jumps.
Well, he eked out a little bit more on jump number 3 there, 63.1. That's going to be his longest. So awesome skiing from Martin Labra. I think that's right around his personal best. I think 206 feet, I'll take a guess. He has been maybe 207. You can see the boat now out at the Red Bull jump ramp, putting it up to 6 foot. That's the maximum height for open men. They are all going at the maximum speed of 57 kilometers per hour. And the next 5 competitors will jump off the full 6 foot ramp, and that is steep. That is hard, especially when you're trucking into it at over 100 kilometers per hour. These guys basically double the speed of the boat on their whip into it. And if you are not in the right position at the bottom of the ramp, Stevie, all sorts of things can go wrong.
Yes, I know. Unfortunately, I know that all too well.
I think all of these guys have been there and done that, and it's always in the back of their mind. They exude confidence, but they all have that respect for that 6 foot ramp height because it can eat you up pretty quick. So they like to cut late, but they want to make sure that everything is controlled as well. And a view back at the judging tower. And you can see the little ripple on the water. It's a nice little headwind. It's pretty consistent. It's not too gusty. We don't want too much of a sort of up and down wind, because when you get in the air and you're pushing on those skis, sort of floating it out, if that wind's coming and going, you'll see the skis start to flap around and you lose distance pretty quick, and confidence really too. So that steady headwind is what we're looking for these skiers, so they can really lean into their skis right off the top of the ramp and have that support to take them down the lake. And there's a beautiful drone view of Sunset Lakes. It's been our host for this event, the 3rd stop of the WorldWaterSkiers Overall Tour. And what a great day it's been so far. Some amazing performances. We saw some excellent tricking out there. I was helping out with some of the judging. We're using iTrick, and an awesome new program to get the trick scores out to you fast. How was it out here in the commentary? Things were coming out pretty smooth, pretty fast. Obviously, everyone stood up pretty much. There's a few messy little tricks here and there that some people lost, but some pretty top scores out there.
Well, that sort of was talking with Britta Llewellyn after the trick event. That just seems like what's changed in this overall game is these guys just don't miss. They go out there, they hit every single time, and you can see it with the trick event. And tricking tends to be the one where there's that smallest margin of error, and the little mistakes tend to really impact you. And all these guys standing up, and like you said, we got to use that new trick program, getting to see those scores kind of live update and getting to know what was happening right away. Just super cool. And how was it you were in there using it as a judge? How's the interface work from the judging standpoint?
Oh, it's awesome, Stevie. It's relatively new. They've used it at quite a few big events so far, but it's relatively new for some of the officials, and we're still a learning curve. But I think everything went really smoothly today, and obviously the scores were coming out kind of pretty much before they were ready for their second pass. They had their first pass. Spectators at home, you guys could see what was happening, what was credit, what was not, what was in time, and that's been one of the weaknesses of the trick event, is you've had to wait a little bit for those scores to come out, and kind of 3 skiers down the road, you still don't know what the earlier skier did, and then it's sort of hard for the skiers to adjust their runs should they need to ensure their places in the trick event or in the overall event. So that's taken all that out of it. The skiers know what's going on, spectators know what's going on, and hey, it's just even better for the people at home to know exactly where everything is, and we start to understand the trick event more and more.
Absolutely, and we're just going to pass to an interview with Lauren Morgan.
We'll get back to Lauren here in just a second. The first skier at 6 foot 1.8 is going to be Eduardo.
A big preliminary jump, was right in around where his top jumps.
Yeah, 208 feet, I believe, was his previous preliminary round score. It's the tricky event that's let him down. He slalomed pretty well again in the finals. Not as well as his first round. He won up 41, was huge. 3 at 39 in the slalom final. But tricks down quite a bit, 9,000 points. He's a high 10,000 point tricker, maybe even close to 11. But he got cut on a few toe tricks and fell a little, well, maybe missed a little bit early on one. So he's down. He's missing at 2,000 points from his competitors. So he's going to have to jump huge.
And now we will pass to Lauren Morgan.
All right, here with Teen Show, he just went 2:07, tied his PB in jump. I think he wanted a little bit more. He's a little disappointed, but hey, great jump.
Yeah, thanks. It was a great tournament actually. I'm happy with my performances. But yeah, I was looking for a little bit more, but it's all right. I'm not happy, but I'm not disappointed, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, good job, and hey, let's see how it ends up.
Yeah, it's pretty good to go far now, so let's see what this guys can come up with.
All right, back to you guys.
Okay, and Eduardo coming out with 60 meters. So he's chasing down that lead of 63.1 in the jump event. We're going to see where that kind of puts everybody in the overall as that gets updated. But a handy first jump, just shy of 200 feet, maybe 197 for Eduardo. He posted a 208. Sometimes I've seen this guy jump exceptionally well. Sometimes he sort of takes it a little bit easier. He doesn't kind of charge as hard as as some of the other skiers, but he's got flawless technique. It comes off the ramp very, very straight, very square, gets a lot of height, but does he bring it late enough? Does he have enough speed? That's going to be the interesting fact. And I think that first one, he was a bit early. That one better, Stevie.
Absolutely. Looks like he got a hold of that one, and kind of noticing that on first jump number one, got a lot of the ramp, got all of his float, but as he said, a little bit early, not quite enough into the course to see, those potentially really big jumps into the 210s and the 220s. But he started himself off where he wanted to be with that 196-foot, 60-meter opening jump, and I think he built on that on jump number 2.
Yeah, definitely. And on your screen right now, we can see the leaderboard in the overall. Martin Labber obviously in front. He's the only one that's finished the 3 events. 2,822 points. But things will change as that top score goes up a little bit. And we throw Eduardo's second jump into the mix.
It looks like 60.1 meters, so a tenth of a meter further.
Yeah, not as far as I thought. I thought he did have a bit more speed there, but came down. Maybe that wind. He's a light guy, and sometimes they have a little trouble punching through the stronger headwind unless they really get into the course and stay on the rope long off the top of the ramp, and it can shut them down pretty quick.
So good consistent jumping on his first 2, not what he needs if he wants to challenge for one of these podium spots. As we said, he's down a little bit in the trick event, so it's going to take a really big jump if he wants a spot on the podium. He's got one left.
Let's see where he goes here. He's pretty early there on the 6, I think, for that headwind. Going maybe it was 620, 630, maybe 30 feet before the 600. So a bit of an early setup. Maybe that's what he likes to do. He doesn't want to be pushed coming into the turn. Very casual there, and a little early and sat back, lost his pull. That's going to be. He's going to wave that one. He's let it go. He won't get credit for that jump, but it was less, wasn't it? It was maybe 45 meters on the last jump. So not the best round of jumping for Eduardo. He jumped exceptionally well yesterday. Slalom. Congratulations to him for running 39 for the first time ever. But the tricks let him down again in the finals here today. So we'll see how that stacks up in comparison with Martin. Will he sort of get in front, or will he be just behind? I have a feeling he's just going to come in behind, and Martin's going to hold on to that lead after 2 skiers. And next we're going to go into Martin Coleman.
Yeah, and you can see there on the replay, Kyle, just too early at the bottom of the ramp and not able to carry through. And
I was surprised to see that setup. The jump starts back down there at the 600-foot buoy. It's 600 feet from the jump, and that's what all these skiers use to guide their turn at their countercut, and where they're going to end up. What sort of setup are they going to have? The width and the speed in the turn goes way back to the end of the lake. So right back there, you've got to be precise, and we're talking a few feet back there, aren't we? It's not 10 feet. You got to be right on the money. You're trying to hit a postage stamp really at the bottom corner of the ramp. Your timing is with inches, and it all starts back at the 600. So very, very difficult, especially if the wind's up and down and moving around a little bit. So far it seems pretty consistent, but he didn't make enough adjustments down there. You can see him kind of come a little frustrated with his performance in the jump event today. All right, Martin Coleman performed exceptionally well up at the Saskatoon event at the Canada Cup. Came away with a second, put some serious pressure on Joel, because he had some big tricks. He slalomed well. Joel fell early in the tricks up there, but came back and dominated in the jump on his last jump. So Martin was so close to taking his first victory on one of these overall tours. Today he's down a little bit after the slalom and the tricks, but he's going to be vying for a place on the podium for sure.
Yeah, going into this final round, Martin sitting in that second place spot behind Joel Poland. So with his slalom and trick score, was enough for second, just ahead of Dorian Llewellyn. Looks like there's about 36 or 34 overall points between those two.
Is that a meter or so in jump, we would say?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, give or take. And here's Martin's first attempt. All these skiers getting 3 jumps. Only the longest will count. They can pass on the first 2 and just hit one on the third. It's only one that's going to go into the books. Oh, he's got some extension on that one. Yesterday he jumped pretty well, but he was hitting the ramp pretty hard. I was watching from the side, just not quite driving through, and his ramp work was kind of suffering. He was, even his longest jump, he kind of crushed on a little bit, split, and his head was kind of banging down a little bit. So if he can get that smooth entry onto the jump ramp and get some more extension, I see a 210 in his future here.
And Martin is super consistent overall skier. I would say if there was an event that he's a little bit less consistent in, it is the jump event. But 208-foot opening jump, so he's in the course and he's getting after it right away on jump number 1.
That's what we like to see. Yeah, had some good speed and definitely smoothed it through the ramp. Didn't rock him. You know, if you're not quite staying through, if you let up a little bit and stand up in front of the ramp, it can squash you down. And he was definitely doing that yesterday. But today, he's corrected that error, and a great opening jump, 208 feet, and that's going to catapult him right into the lead after his first jump. 3 skiers will be remaining after him. Will he do enough here to hold on to the lead, or will he at least try and stay on that podium? That's his goal here today. Jump number 2.
Looking right around that same spot, actually, that I think the previous 2 athletes, and as we said, a little bit early to where I would have thought with this wind. But it seems to be working so far. He's got more speed in the turn on this one.
Another nice jump. I don't think he got quite the same lift out of it. I think his arm, it seemed like he was a little bit army into the bottom there. These skiers really try and relax their arms, so they ride their left shoulder through the ramp and they keep the pull going all the way through so they can get some good extension and carry. As soon as you lose that rope, if you come into your arms and you don't get the pull off the top of the ramp and the carry and get down the lake. So I think he lost a little bit on that one compared to the first. But 213, wow. He is stoked. He threw the fist.
No, I don't know. We'll try and pull up.
We got a replay here.
For the last few years, but
just a little tight in the bottom, but still uncorked it off the top. And you see there the extension and flying on jump number 2. Well past the 200-foot buoy. 213. That is huge. That's one of his longest jumps ever, I believe.
It's got to be up in that realm. That's what I was just trying to pull up his distances from the last season. So it looks like a season high at the LA Night Jam was a 63.7 meter jump.
64.9 that converts to in the metric system. And he is putting himself in the money here today, throwing down the gauntlet to the remaining 3 competitors. They're going to have to find some distance out here. It's obviously possible. That headwind keeping these skiers up in the air and taking them down the lake. Martin Coleman, 213. What can he do for us on jump number 3, third and final? Oh, another handy jump. I was a little off on the one before, so I'm going to hesitate to take a guess on that one. He looked a little bit shorter on the 200-foot buoy. He was over it by a few, but maybe not quite as far as the 213. But he's going to take that one back to the dock, and an exceptional round of overall skiing for Martin Coleman. 11,000 was his trick score. Was 11,520. A 2.5 at 39, and a 213-foot jump. Exceptional overall skiing, and he is definitely going to be our leader. With 3 skiers remaining, 2,859 points so far.
All right, at a 197, I think you wanted a little bit more. Tell us about the set.
Yeah, I mean, after tricks, I knew I had to like put out a big jump, and I really tried, and didn't really work out for me. And then this kind of headwind for a little guy like me, like, really stopped me. Really, like, I had to like fight the win, and the win today won. So that's about it. I can't really. Happy to be in the final. Happy to have run my first 39, and it was a good event. It's nice to be back skiing in competitive level, and let's try to get better for Fluid and look for a podium.
Yeah, well, thanks for attending all events and looking forward to see what you do at Fluid. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Okay, so the next skier taking to the water, he's currently in second spot on the tour standings. This is Dorian Llewellyn from Canada. And he is got some pressure on him. Fell a little early in slalom. He just slalomed really well in the prelims, didn't he? Won at 41, but came up short, had an early fall, half at 39. Came back in tricks, very consistent. Was a little bit kind of conservative, I thought. I thought he might throw some big things in there, but wanted to just go for the stand-up run. It was still a great score. I believe he came up with 11,610, so nothing to sneeze at, obviously, but he's capable of a little bit more than that if he throws maybe his toe line 5 back or something. But he's needing 66.1 meters by our calculations to take the lead from Martin Coleman. Hey, he's easily capable of doing that, but he's been a little bit shy lately. He went 207 in the first round. Hopefully he can find his legs, get into the course, have a real poke at this one, Stevie.
Absolutely, and put himself in a good position here. You know, overall it comes down to the jump event, and it tends to be the one where you can almost will yourself a little bit more than the other events to push yourself. Conditions are great. Dorian's more than capable of getting it done. Let's see what he can do here on jump number 1.
The skis slapped down on the landing, didn't they? He must have had some height coming down. He always comes off the ramp pretty clean and goes up super high. But whether he has the heat, whether he has that speed and that carry to take him down the lake, his personal best, over 230 feet. He's one of those few skiers that have been over 70 meters. That's a massive jump. And he's going to need something in that ballpark today to put some pressure on the 2 skiers remaining.
66.8 meters, 219 on jump number 1.
And that is why we finished with the jump event, Stevie, because like you say, it's that one event that they can just kind of throw down on. If they're down a little bit, push it later. And he has taken the lead on jump number 1.
So we knew he could do it, 66.8. He needed a 66.1, so right there moves himself up above Martin Coleman, and he's still got 2 jumps left. And you know, Kiwi, looking at that replay, there was still some distance left in there. He wasn't, it was a great jump, super far, but definitely more in it for him.
Definitely. 219 it looks like that converts to. So he's got some more in the tank. He struggled yesterday. He maybe just wasn't really kind of pushing himself enough. He knew he'd done enough to make it into the, from the prelims to the finals, saving some energy. But he's come out and uncorked a big one on jump number 1. And that's got the guys on the dock excited because they know conditions are great. As we watch this from the drone as the boat comes in, he's setting up nice and wide. Can he come down a little bit later? A little bit more speed. He's got a big cut here and just sits back, comes off that hand early, so that's definitely shorter. Waves that one away, and he 1 jump remaining.
You can see he definitely pushed himself in the course there. It was a much harder turn. You could tell he was a little bit later and really pushing. He's looking to put the pressure on, and you know, when we look now, 2 jumpers left on the dock in Louis Duplan, Freeberg, and Joel Poland. You know, it's going to be a big jump if he wants to really stress out Joel, but what he's done to Louis here, coming into the event, Louis now needs a 68.6 meter jump to take the lead. So a 68.6 meter jump. So Louis now knows that's at least how far he's got to go. That's really put the pressure on. That's a big jump for anybody.
Just watch the replay. Yeah, sitting back on that one, coming off the handle. You know, it's so nice. It's so comforting to come out on your first jump and get a big one, isn't it? It settles you down. You're like, okay, pressure's off. Now I can just kind of focus on some keys and see if I can just push that lead out a little bit further. Here he is. He's got 1 more jump remaining. He's pretty pumped about that first one, 219 feet. But he knows he needs a little bit more. Maybe to, because Louis is capable of going that 68. He's been upper thereabouts in the past, and he knows he's got Joel following him up, and maybe it's all signed and sealed for Joel because he's won the slalom, he's won the tricks. But Dorian wants to have something to say about it on this 3rd and final jump. He's got a late cut, some speed into the bottom, and he's decided to pass. Maybe pushed it a little late, who knows. But 2:19, and he's our current leader, Stevie. Good job for Dorian.
Okay, 6.7 pass. 3 days, 0.7.
All right, so we're going to pass to Lauren Morgan.
All right, Martin, 2:13, a PB, amazing skiing, and hey, you might be on the podium. Let's see.
Yeah, I did everything I could. Slalom, I was a little bummed out with that, but then tricks was good, and jump, I mean, PB is always hard to come by, so I'm super happy with that, and we'll see where I end up. It's beautiful out there here at Jack, so yeah, boys will fly.
Awesome, and thanks for supporting the events, and we'll see you over at Fluid.
Yeah, see you guys there.
Thanks. Back to you.
All right, good to see Martin. And hear his words, and talk to him after pretty much a personal best in jumping there and thereabouts. And he's currently in the second spot in this overall challenge. Dorian Llewellyn taking the lead with the jump, 66.8. That's our longest today. And he has slotted himself into the lead in the overall. 2 skiers remaining. He can do no worse than third. But this guy came out yesterday and absolutely flew. Louis looked great jumping. He didn't go that hard, he didn't go that late, but he got some pull into the bottom and absolutely booted one. Had a set 2:18, 2:22, 2:24, and very close to his French record. I'd love to see this guy, you know, have that challenge at that 68.6 that he's looking for today. Is that 2:26 or so, I think, give or take?
Right around that mark, yeah. We'll get an actual figure here.
Louis, 57, split.
At 225.
225, yep.
225 feet, that's going to be the mark in feet. 68.6 meters, and he's definitely capable of it. He's really been attacking the jump lately. He's put some really big jumps on the board. And he seems to be one of those skiers who's able to rise to the occasion. You know, defending world overall champion, and you know.
Yeah. And I mean, if he does that today, he'll be taking home that new French record. I believe it's a little shy, about 224 is give or take. He's got to be kind of cursing about that slalom out there. It let him down today. You know, he tricked really well, 11.8. He was a little messy. He might have lost one trick, so he could have gone over 12 as well. I think maybe his time back-to-back was no credit. But it's a slalom. You know, he's going to have to work on that over the winter, or you know, over the next month, and come back at that last tour event and see if he can up the slalom game. See if he wants to catch the likes of Joel. But he's chasing down Dorian right now, who's our current leader. We're needing 68.6. That is big.
And when we look on the, you know, how this shakes out on the tour, you know, Dorian, Martin, and Louis were all just 10 points apart on the tour standing. So Dorian has now moved himself ahead of Martin, but Louis looking to join into the mix here. And here he is on jump number 1. He's late on this one.
Oh, awesome opening jump. And that's what I loved about his set yesterday. So consistent. 18, 22, 24. Just looked bang on. And he's coming out today right in the same spot. There's that replay. Watch him coming into the bottom. And just unleashing off the top.
227 feet, 69 meters, 69.3. Kiwi got it done on jump number 1. That's a new French jump record, and that moves him into the lead.
Does he know that yet? Is he celebrating?
Dude,
he's pretty quiet about it. He's like, oh yeah, I can do more.
Even when he came by, I would have expected a fist throw or something from a jump like that. But what an opening jump from this young man from France! And like I said, he's got that look in his eye where he delivers, and he had a huge pressure on him. A 68-meter jump. A personal best is what he needed to go into the lead, and he nails it on jump number 1.
French record, personal best, and so getting so close to that 70 meters. That is a club I think he wants to be a member of. And by starting like that, who knows? Can he find a few more feet? He's got the lead in the overall event. He's uncorked a huge jump. He has brought it down late on that 600, and that's what I want to see. I knew these last couple of guys would really turn up the pressure, and he's setting up. He always starts so smooth. Can he dig it into the bottom? He's decided to pass maybe too much. Maybe he brought it down just that little bit too much.
Well, and that's sort of the beautiful thing about when you nail that first jump, like we talked about. Dorian did the same thing, is now you can kind of push it. You have that distance down. It's kind of pressure's off. You can put yourself into the course in that place to have a really, really big jump. And I think Louis did that there. Didn't quite like the look of it. He passed, but he's got one more jump left to see what he can do.
Louis, 69.3, jump number 1, jump to a pass. He's got one more attempt remaining. No pressure on the guy. He's guaranteed at least a silver medal in this overall event. And we're going to hear from Lauren real quick here, Stevie. We'll be back shortly.
All right, Dorian, 219. I know the wind's a bit up and down out there. How'd you feel?
Yeah, good. I mean, 219's unfortunately the farthest I've gone, since early last year. And I said in Canada that I was going to be pumped up and I was going to be ready to go for the win here. And I mean, I feel like I've showed glimpses now, like running 39 in the first round, this 219, it wasn't ideal. Obviously, you don't want your first jump to be your farthest, you know that. But yeah, I'm building, and I put a lot of pressure on myself the last couple of weeks, and I think everybody that was here saw me get frustrated a lot and probably zapped too much energy out of myself. I was pretty tired today, and it's a good start, and we got 5 more weeks of tournaments, so I think I can build off this, but definitely want more.
Yeah, I know you've been working hard on the jump, and I'm excited to see you in the next few weeks, and we'll see you over at Fluid.
Yeah, there's nothing like flying, and Louis just showed how exciting it can be, so I want to get back to that, and speaking of, let's get right back to that.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, great hearing there from Dorian. As Louis Duplon-Freiburg comes in for jump number 3. A huge 227 on jump 1, a pass on jump 2. Well, what has he got for us? It's late. He drops the handle a little bit, a little slack line in the turn, but he comes trucking in, waves it away in the air. Maybe 2 started a little hard. He saw that line dip a little bit in the turn, and that is very, very, it puts you a little nervous when you make a hard turn like that and you lose the line. It's hard to get a smooth start. You get a little tense. I've seen some big jumps from that sort of start, but also after uncorking a huge jump on jump number 1, he didn't need it. He didn't need to push it. He wasn't probably right where he wanted to be. What a set from Louis Duplon, and he's leading this event. Joel Poland coming off the dock, our final jumper of the event. He's leading in slalom. He's leading in tricks. He's chasing down a huge jump from Louis, but really today he needs to jump with thinking 210, something like that, to take the win. And then maybe even look at a new pending world overall record if he could somehow find a 225 or further.
Well, yeah, so Joel's pretty much, if he wants to win all 3 events here, he's going to need a jump that's going to be in that world record territory. So that's just the quality of skiing that's come in here, is that if Joel wants to take all 3 event wins here, it's going to take a jump that will eclipse the current world overall record, and it just seems like every time he steps on his skis, that record's in danger of going down.
And he's going to want to do that today, Stevie. He's not going to want to go, hey, you know what, I'll go 210 or so, I'll win the event. Yeah, that's right. No, he wants to win. Every time he's on the water, he wants to come away, the winner of the event at hand. And he's seen how it's possible. He's seen Dorian go big. He's seen Louis uncork his best ever. And he knows it's possible. He's been 230 a couple times, hasn't he? He's been over 230 feet. His best, I think, is 235, or there and thereabouts. He's been over it a couple, 3 times. And I think he wants another attempt. And that will take down the record. It'll add a lot of points to our pending record.
Well, with jumping being an event that happens outside and the wind being such a crucial factor, it's not all the time that these guys are going to get conditions like this. We're at Jack Travers Water Ski School, one of the best water ski schools in the world. Everything's set up. We got that ramp out there that John built that is dialed. Everything's set up. And now the wind is absolutely perfect. And, you see a kid like Joel, he's going to be on the dock. He just saw what Louis is able to do. He knows there is massive potential for a really, really big jump. And
yeah, obviously the conditions are perfect. Everything's set up right. The other thing that's right too, Stevie, is the atmosphere. In a competition mode, the adrenaline's flowing. He knows big jumps is possible, so he's going to be pumped up, and that's what it takes in the jump event to go far, to go that little bit extra, is to just let loose when it comes time in a big final like this.
Let's see if he can get it done here on jump number 1. Joel Poland, let's see where he goes at the 600-foot buoy. We saw Louis go around that 600-foot buoy. Joel opted to go a little bit earlier here on jump number 1.
Yeah, I think he's going a little maybe conservative on jump number 1, feeling out the conditions. He'll still go a long way, I'm sure, but I think you'll see him come down on jump 2. Yeah, good speed. He's got some carry. It's not the 2:27, but I'd say he's taken our lead, well, taken the overall title. Right there on jump number 1. Let's wait and see as the scores come through. They get thrown into the calculator. Some smoke comes out of the little trailer next to us, and we wait and see what the calculation's going to spit out to us. There's the replay. Let's see what he does. Yeah, maybe just kind of hanging there a little longer than he needed to. But he just want to make sure he got his legs on his first jump. Hearing
2:22.
2:22.
So that's going to be enough.
Yeah, that's definitely enough. Congratulations to Joel Poland. He has won the Austria event. He has won the Canada Cup, and now he has won the Travers Cup 3 in a row. And he's taken a dominating lead in the tour standings. 67.6, 2:22. That's right about where he jumped in round number 1. He needs a little bit more to take the record, and that's going to be his focus right now. Is, hey, can I just chip away at that record a little bit more?
Absolutely. Well, he got it done, jump 1. He kind of knows. I'm sure Joel kind of did the math. He knows that 67.6 is going to be enough. He had that massive lead coming in. But again, now he knows he's got 2 jumps here to try and set another pending world overall record. And Kiwi, could that be 3 rounds in a row that he set a pending world overall record?
I think it is, actually. Yeah, 2 weeks ago he set one in the second round of a competition just down the road, about an hour down the road. And then he did it. That's huge. Oh, that's a big jump.
And we heard him on the way by give a little cheer.
He's throwing the fist, and he's had some height out there. Did he have the speed to go with it? He went a long way past that 200-foot boy. And I have a feeling we got a 30 coming up. Is it going to be 70 meters plus? Jump number 2, Joel Poland. Watching the replay. Let's see where he goes. Sitting up. Okay, distance is coming through. We'll wait and see. 68.7. It's 225 feet. Not quite the 70. I was getting pretty excited. I thought he had done it because he could tell he was up in the air for a long, long time, but maybe that wind just shut him down a little bit. That's going to be right there and thereabouts for that world record.
We're going to be within just a few overall points of that record, whether or not it's above or below, but 1 jump left. Just another sensational overall round. 3 of the best overall rounds of all time done by one man, 3 rounds in a row. Pretty unbelievable.
What I think he's probably like, you could hear him when he landed. He was just having a ball out there, because you know what it's like when you, even if it's not your longest jump ever, but when you get on top of that wind and just hang and hang and hang and just kind of float one out there, there's no better feeling in the world. And that's what Joel experienced on jump number 2 right there. Can he come down a little bit later? Can he show us a little bit more? Can he find another couple meters and go over 70 meters here for us today? The 3rd and final jump, the last performance of this weekend. And coming off again smooth. Hard to pick.
Yeah, I'm thinking jump 2 might have still been the longest, but that's still going to be right around that same mark.
He's got the head nod. What a set. 222, 225. Distance coming through very shortly. This guy's dialed. Turning way up on the side of the boat. Patient as you like. Let the skis finished. And the pull comes on. He's charging to the bottom. The distance is coming through, guys.
228.
228.
69 meters. So wow, 69.6, just almost huge. On that 70-meter mark. I didn't think he quite got it done there on the 3rd one, but he did, and I do believe that will be another pending world overall record for the likes of Joel Poland. Unbelievable stuff. What a tournament. So many great scores.
Can't finish on more of a high than that, can you? A world record, almost a 70-meter jump. This guy's unstoppable, performing so well in all 3 events. And congratulations to all the other competitors too that came out and put some pressure on them. And looking through the leaderboard there, what have we got? We've looked down. It's Joel Poland in the lead, obviously. Louis Duplan Freiburg in 2nd. Dorian Llewellyn in 3rd. 2986 was his overall points there. Yeah, it looks like we haven't adjusted it yet.
It'll be 3,000.
It'll be 3,000 for Joel. He had the top score in all 3 events. There it goes. It's just updated. And Dorian coming in 3rd. Martin Coleman not far behind in that. Only about 14 points behind in 4th. So just missing the podium. Young Martin Labra, he had a stellar tournament. He wasn't too far behind as well. And so congratulations to all of our competitors, the top 6.
And then we look at how that shakes out in the tour rankings.
Top 3 yet to be added. But Duplan was maybe snuck a little bit more of a lead and maybe got a little bit ahead of Dorian there from this second place here today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see once we get all the points tallied on how that worked out. But a super close battle right now between Louis Duplant Freeberg, Dorian Llewellyn, and Martin Coleman. But we're going to spin to an interview. All right, and we are back, Kiwi. Such a pleasure. What a great tournament, ending on such a high with those massive jumps from both Louis and Joel and Dorian. And we look at some of these scores in the jump event. You know, Eduardo Morenzi in 6th place with a 60-meter jump. Martin Labra 63. You know, all the way up to the 69.6 we saw at the end there from Joel. Those are the cuts for a pro elite men's jump tournament oftentimes, and we're seeing that from guys who are competing in all 3 events. And you know, looking at the trick score as well. You know, we have 5 guys all over 11,000 points. It's just pretty unbelievable to say.
No, some sensational skiing all weekend long. A couple, well, we'll talk again about Jake Abelson's under 17 pending world overall record, over 12,000 points, a couple at 39, 177 feet. The young Martin Labra coming in, his first event, making the finals, placing 5th. Joel Poland, another world record. The guys are proving records. They got some work to do, don't they? There's a lot of paperwork coming at them over these last couple of events. Everything's got to get ratified, verified. It goes through a big procedure to make sure everything's correct. But at events like this, you know, where everything is set up, everything's dialed, John Travers has everything right down on the money, and I think it'll be a formality that you know, that record will go through. You know, he's got another couple of events this year that he can sneak up a little bit more. You know, he's 2 at 41. Pretty good score. He can do more. 12,000. He can do a little bit more than that. And he's been, you know, 4 or 5 feet further than 229 or whatever it was in feet. So just there's room to grow. And all these guys, this world overall event, this tour over the last few years has really kind of pushed these overall skiers to up the standards. You know, they've got reasons to compete. They've got reasons to train, and it's just cool to see them coming out and just lifting the standard each and every event that comes through.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be so interesting as this tour concludes, seeing how that kind of podium positions finish out between Louis Duplan, Freeberg, Dorian Llewellyn, and Martin Coleman, just neck and neck. Only 10 points separating the 3 of them. They've been close all tour long. They were close this weekend, and you know, we got one more event at your place at Ski Fluid in just a few weeks' time to crown all of our winners. I think at this point, Joel, assuming he's healthy and competes at that event, I think he's probably got this year's tour wrapped up as well. But he's going to look to be making it another clean sweep, 2 seasons in a row, completely undefeated.
No, for sure. Okay, I'm sure we're going to look to hear from Joel Poland here pretty soon, and I think Lauren's got Louis with her as well.
All right, Louis, 3 to 11. Slalom didn't go too well, but you came all the way back in tricks and jump. 227, French record. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really stoked. Yeah, really amazing. Feeling good. Slalom was, I guess it's my level. I skied better this week, but yeah, it didn't go as planned. But just trick, I played the game. I gave it all. I was borderline, got a trick cut, and then jump. I went all in late, and that happened. Yeah, I'm so happy. Yeah.
Awesome. And you know what? Maybe over the next few weeks we can work on the slalom, and we'll see you over at Fluid.
That's the goal, exactly. yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's fix the slalom.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, smile on the face of Louis Duplan Freeberg as he secures a 2nd spot. And I am sure we're going to try and get Lauren to track down our winner, Joel Poland, our winner, and our another pending world record. He's probably celebrating somewhere. And we'll be doing the podiums here in just a few moments. The award presentations. And a big thanks to all the sponsors for this event, and to the Travers Ski School Sunset Lakes for providing just the best site. So we saw performances absolutely outstanding from all of our skiers here today. Yep, I can hear Joel behind us. I think they're going to try and track him down.
Nice jump. Congrats.
Go that far, we're slacking the turn. Go as hard as you can.
I don't know if you watched me in the air, but I didn't even like enjoy that much because I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
And the fourth and final event will be held on October 19th or 18th and 19th in just under a month's time in Polk City. And we will see how it finishes up. Joel Poland has won 3 in a row for 2024. Can he make it 4? He had a clean sweep of 2023. But as Stevie was talking, the challenge for second is there. And the winner is with Lauren Morgan. Let's hear from him.
All right, Joel, so I just heard that this is the 3rd round in a row you broke the overall record?
Yeah, 3 in a row now. So skiing's going really good in the second half of the season so far. Pretty happy.
Amazing, amazing. And 228, right up there with some of your biggest jumps. How did it feel out there?
Honestly, it was a little challenging. Just that wind is like, it's strong. There's not too many gusts to it, but there are the odd gusts, and like it definitely caught me out a little bit here and there. But yeah, everything kind of came together on that 3rd one, and yeah, just felt good. It's always nice coming out the jacks, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I jump here a lot. Well, congrats on the win, and we'll see you in a few weeks over at Fluid.
Well, thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Okay, Joel Poland accepting another win. It's getting a little bit commonplace for Joel, but he's enjoying it. And we'll be going on to our award presentations in just a few minutes, so please stay tuned.
Experience iconic sophistication and style in a new Cadillac from Houston Cadillac in Lake Wales. The 2023 CT4 sedan is nicely equipped with class-leading technology and a head-turning design. The XT4 is compact and spirited, with serious comforts and up to 30 mpg. And the XT5 offers a spacious cabin and impressive suite of tech and safety features. Visit Houston Cadillac and take advantage of our limited time offers. Houston Cadillac, people you know and trust.
And we are back. We will be doing our medal presentations here at the 2024 WorldWaterSkiers Travers Cup. In 6th place with an overall score of 2,456 points, Eduardo Morenzi. In 5th place with an overall score 2,682 points, Martin Labra. In 4th place with a score 2,760 points, Martin Coleman. In 3rd place, 2,774 overall points, Dorian Llewellyn.
Oh, Richard.
In 2nd place with a pending France national jump record, overall points 2,791, Louis Deplan-Freeberg. And with another new pending world overall record and 3,000 overall points, Joel Poland.
Good one, I guess.
And one more round of applause for your finalists at the 2024 World WaterSkiers Travers Cup.
Hey, watch out, here it comes.
Poured on his head.
Don't break it on his head. You do that on cruise ships, not on heads. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Good job, guys.
Good job, guys.
That's just a thank you card from me to you guys for letting me do.
Round in champagne.
That's what he wants. Next time.